Salut YouTube, après une petite pause, me revoici sur UMINEKO pour la dernière aventure, la dernière game, le dernier chapitre, Made Just for Ange, le chapitre 8 d'UMINEKO. Je sens que je m'approche de la fin de cette aventure, et quelle aventure! Mais c'est pas fini parce qu'il va falloir tanker cet épisode qui je pense va être aussi émotionnel que la fin du set. Il faut juste savoir se lancer. Twilight of the Golden Witch. Oh, game tournament. Why not participate yourself now at the very end? Oula. Attends, il y a eu un tapage là. Bon, le début de la fin. C'est maintenant. Two silhouettes could be seen in the chapel. A big brother and a little sister. The big brother who will never return from that day to a death in the past, and the little sister who waited all alone 12 years in the future. However, the big brother knew everything, understood everything, and the little sister knew nothing, understood nothing. So no matter how much time passed, the little sister remained as the girl she had been 20 years before. 12 years before. She remained a 6-year-old girl forever. Her sobs into his chest finally subsided. Quietly waited for his next words. After patting her head gently, the big brother fished around inside his shirt pocket. Then he took that out. Are you listening, Ange? Take good care of this. What is it? A key? Atla took a large key attached to a necklace out of his pocket, then held it out to Ange. It was large enough to cover his entire palm, and little Ange probably wouldn't even be able to wrap her hand all the way around it. The key glittered gold and had a beautiful intricate design. Its weight alone made it clear that this key was something very important. Atla put the necklace around Ange's neck. This precious key is yours alone. Oh! Skin de Ange petite! For Mimi! What's it for? The time to use it will come soon. When it does, you'll have to decide for yourself. Understand? Of course, she didn't have a clue what Butler was saying, but she did realize that he was telling her to get good care of this key, so Ange nodded, at least in response to that part. In her hand, the key had felt heavy. However, now that it was around the neck, it felt as light as an ordinary necklace. How strange. Okay, let's go. Where to? He had been sorry that her brother was about to sit down. After all, just a second ago, he said he'd tell her what happened on Rokenjiman on that day. She'd expected him to tell her here. On that day, on that island. Just what it is that happened. I thought you were going to tell me about that, Oni-chan. Absolutely, and you'll be given the chance to listen. However, to you it may not feel as though you're merely listening to a story. What does that mean? What you really want isn't to know what happened on that island on that day. So, he does understand after all, what happened on that island that day. Trying to answer that question was all I was capable of, so I wished for nothing more. But if I could, I'd want to go there, to that island, on that day. To Rokenjima on that day I couldn't go, to the Yoshimiya family mansion, to mom and dad, to all the cousins, all the relatives, and everyone else. I want to go back to that island on that day, so I remained the way I was on that day. My heart and soul stopped, stuck as a 6-year-old forever. I want to go home. I know. Mom, Dad, Oni-chan, everyone. I want to go home to where everyone is. That's why I've decided to invite you there. Huh? Your Oni-chan is the game master now. Only those who know everything about the game board can open it up and invite pieces in. La Golden Land, l'endroit impossible. So I'll invite you to come to the game board. Take me to Rokkenjima on that day? Oh, that's right. I invite you to the Rokkenjima of 1986. Will I be able to see everyone? Of course. Even though my memory is vague and I can't remember anyone's face clearly, you'll remember soon enough. And so it'll be a reunion after 12 years for you. It's only been a short gap for us. Everyone will welcome you. When you finally return from the distant future, everyone will welcome you. Will I be able to stay there forever? This way I can be with everyone forever. This is the goal I'm supposed to reach. Ange, listen to me carefully. The butler spoke in an admonishing tone, also warning me that it was a dream that wouldn't be granted. The Rokkenjima family conference usually ends after a single night. Because the typhoon that day, the boat couldn't come and it lasted 2 nights. So when the typhoon passes, I have to leave the island again. Not exactly. That decision is yours as well, Ange. You'll decide that yourself. I understand, of course. I don't exist on that island on that day. It's a miracle just to be invited there like this. Just the 2 days before the typhoon passes. Just getting those 2 days to myself is already the sort of miracle that will never come again. If I'm greedy enough to ask for more, then fate miracle might vanish. Even though I thought this, my young heart, which was still 6 years old, wasn't satisfied with such a short-lived miracle. I don't want to leave. I know. I'll be with everyone forever. I stay with my family. Even if Oni-chan says I have to head back, I stay on Rokkenjima. You can leave, but it's not as though one of those is the right choice. That's not how it works, Ange. Even so, you lent me shoes. Yes, that's what the key is for. Butler touched the glittering key that hung from Ange's neck. I've already made my decision. You don't have to decide now. The time to choose will come soon. When it does, you must use your honest heart to choose how you'll use that key. You don't need to listen to anything your Oni-chan tells you. You're free to choose your answer in any way you like. However, if you're a good kid and if you can trust your Oni-chan, if I can, don't believe everything Oni-chan says. I believe all of it. That will lead to the best choice for you. Listen to your Oni-chan's words and believe everything. Can you do that? I don't know. That's good enough. Believe whatever you want to. That's also a choice you can make. If I don't believe Oni-chan, will I wake up from this dream? That won't happen, so don't worry. For some reason, Ange was suspicious of her brother and scared of him. Her wish was to remain on the island on that day, together with her family, forever. She was afraid that, once she got there 2 miraculous days, her brother might tell her to be satisfied with that and return to 12 days in the future all alone. I already told you, there is no right decision. You can go or you can stay. That's for you to decide. And you don't need to make a decision right now. And no one will force me to make either choice. Of course. And Oni-chan won't tell me to go back to the future. Here's a choice Oni-chan wants you to make. Even so, Oni-chan wants to respect your decision and let you reach if your own accord regardless of what it happens to be. And I just told you, I've already made my choice. And I just told you, now isn't the time to choose. When will it be time? The key will tell you. The large gold key hung from Ange's neck. Her small hand held it tightly. At that moment, she noticed a book lying on the chapel's altar. The book had lock on it and was sealed, so that it could not be read without a key. Ange looked between the key hanging at her chest and the book on the altar. Well, this key unlocked that book. Don't touch that book. His sudden forceful response made Ange flinch. Butler, realizing he had scared Ange, softened his expression. Come on, let's go. I'm inviting you to come back to October 4th, 1986. Okay. Butler held out his hand and Ange gripped it tightly. Then they started walking. A brilliant light lay beyond the chapel's door. The blinding light picked it through the cracks around the door. The brother and sister began to walk through to the other side. Welcome back, Ange. It'll be the last time. I'm opening this game board one last time for you. Je vais encore pleurer dans ce chapitre. Je le sens. Hein. Oh là là, ça va être dur. On va tout tanker. Force et honneur. J'ai très peur. Oya, oya, oya. Yeah, fall. Oh no. Once again, Captain Karabalas ferry boat to Rokanjima cut across the sea in perfect form. Yes, the tale of October 4th, 1986 always began with battle screams. But this time one thing was different. There was another yell alongside Butler's. Butler was screaming. He also was laughing. All fall. No. Fun, fun, fun. Oh là là, c'est... On a Ange à Rokenjima, alors ça c'est... This face looks funny. Alongside the big brother, who was grasping at the 100 and screaming in a way no one that age should scream, was the little sister, also grasping the 100 and jumping about like it was a ride at an amusement park. George and the other just couldn't hold in a laughter at the difference. I guess bad luck hasn't changed much this past 6 years. He's as energetic as ever. Plus, Ange and Maria look more cheery than usual this year. Could it be the first time we've had all 5 cousins together? Oh, is it? I get it. That explains why it's noisier this year than any year before. George, Aniki, this is way too fast, right? I'm begging you as the driver to slow down before it's too late. This is too fast, but it's so pathetic. I wanna go faster, faster, faster. Any faster than this and I'll fall right off the boat. Will that make you happy? I'm gonna fall. Going by popular vote, I have said the Battle's proposal is rejected. Look out, Tony-chan, look, you're gonna fall. Oh, la Ange de 6 ans, elle est trop mignonne. Je suis encore plus peiné, du coup, bah c'est très bien. Here, Scaredy Cat Battler needs to be punished. Tickle time. Hihi. Wait, stop, Maria. You too, Ange. Oh. Thanks goodness. Ah, vas-y, je peux plus les voir là. Je peux... J'arrive plus à les regarder dans les yeux là. was worried about Ange's health, but it'd be too sad to leave her behind at home. I'm glad we decided to bring her anyway. Wasn't she very sick shortly before you left? Feels a lot better this morning. It can be so incredible sometimes. She's the kind of person whose health takes a hit when she's stressed. Not that strange for people like this to get all better when the big day finally comes. You must really have been looking forward to playing with all 5 of the cousins together. Oh, just watching them play together makes you feel charged with energy, doesn't it? You had a smile as they watch the children play around. Ange had gotten very sick and who everyone I thought would be absent made a miraculous recovery. Thanks in part to a strong desire to join in, she has come along to the family conference with the others. And so, for the first time ever, all 5 cousins were gathered together. October 4th, 1966 became a day like no other. Juste le fait que Butler ait fait ça pour sa soeur me donne envie de tomber par terre, genre. Waouh. J'ai réussi à overcome, mais bon, à la fin du chapitre 7. The kids dashed up the path leading from the harbor to the rose garden. But they were probably so charged up that even walking was too boring for them. See that? First place! Mantle was the first one to reach the rose garden, which was the goal. Apparently he was trying to make up for this dishonor he had suffered on the boat by proving his superiority on land. A short while later, Ange and Maria reached him in a dead heat. I'm second. I'm faster than Ange. No, you aren't. Maria Nichan cheated. I'm second. The 3 years gap between Ange and Maria was large, especially since both of them were growing kids. It was only natural that Maria was faster, but Ange seemed to be complaining about a shoulder bump at the start line. Maria Nichan cheated, so she gets last place. Teacher always says you get last place if you cheat, protested Ange. Come on, no need to fight. Still, both of you really are fast. It's been a long time since I've run that much. Ah, the breeze feels so nice. Are you out of shape, George or Nikki? You know anyone who has to run the race to make it before the bell every day gets strong legs by default. In other words, being a fast runner is proof that you sleep in a lot. Anchan always sleeping. He didn't wake up today either, so I had to wake him up. Right? A stomp followed by a flying elbow, and that body flex from the top rope at the end. Ça va, c'est vraiment la WWE là. And that body flex from the top rope at the end just about finished me. That sounds more likely to put you in eternal sleep. Sounds fun. I wanna do it too. I'll bet on can sleep tomorrow too. We'll wake him up together this time, okay? Le fait que cette musique se joue la première fois dans le chapitre 1 quand t'arrives sur l'île et maintenant c'est... Maintenant que tout l'espoir est perdu, entendre Hope, c'est... Ça a une toute autre saveur, hein. I'd recommend again staying up too late tonight. Finally, the adults came into sight. The cousins waved at them, urging them to hurry up. Ange and Maria were so excited that they could hardly wait. Just by having all 5 cousins together, just by adding Ange into the group, look at how energetic this day had become. Excuse me, the family members have arrived. So they made it. I must let father know. Are they all in the guest house now? Yes, they will meet you here after they have set down the luggage. Bon. Understood. Shannon, please show them the way. Shannon, quickly get some tea ready. As you wish, madam. Father, it's me, Cross. It's about time for you to get ready. After Cross knocked on the door, it opened from the inside. Oh, Dr. Nanjo, how is father doing? No need to worry, he's changing as we speak. I think he's just a little nervous. Why are you calling nervous? No, I can't find my favorite one-winged neck chip in. How many times must I tell Natsui? My possessions may never be moved without my approval. C'est... Mais attendez. Deux petites secondes, là. C'est une... On est dans Friends, là? C'est... Comment ça, là? C'est la game friendly, genre. Made Just for Ange, c'est la game... c'est une telenovelas, quoi. Apparently, Kinzo had been running around for some time just because he couldn't decide on a type-in. Kinzo felt that the dignity of the family head must always be preserved. Usually made a big deal about the head's attire being well dignified. C'est la game où il est gentil, là, où il descend, dire bonjour. C'est marrant, il est pas noté comme mort au début de la game, là. Battler a vraiment juste fait la game Animal Crossing, genre. C'est du jamais vu. Can make it in time? Do you think you could give us a little longer? We'll come down as soon as it's ready. Understood? I'm counting on you, Dr. Ninja. Father, I must say that necktie pin looks splendid on you. This necktie pin, you say? This pin? The family conference is held but once a year. There shall be no compromise. I must have that necktie pin. Where is it? Where? Non mais là c'est Casimir, c'est l'île aux enfants, qu'est-ce qui se passe là? Hinderson, you already looked in that drawer 5 seconds ago. Besides, you own several splendid necktie pins. It is not stylish to select something fitting to match Fate's swims. Huh, you think so? So I don't need to use the one-way deagle pin? Huh. As Cross watched Nenjo calm Kinzo down, he started finding it hard to believe that this doctor wasn't his own mother. Well, it was always like this. He always makes a fuss when no one's looking, but when the time comes, he makes his decision with pride. After asking Nenjo to come down by lunch at the latest, Crow snuck out of the studio. How do you think? A splendid aroma, is it not? And a unique one as well. I've never had pumpkin tea before. And a little touch of sweetness make it delicious. As one step in preparing the tea for the guest, Goda let Shannon try a bit first. Until then, Shannon had thought it would be outrageous for a servant such as herself to drink the same thing as the family and their guests. However, according to Goda, that kind of thinking was a mistake. One must not serve something if one does not know the text beforehand. C'est la game Animal Crossing, friendship is magic, genre. Qu'est-ce qui se passe? For example, when you visit a restaurant and a dish you've never heard of catches your eyes, what are you likely to ask the waiter? How does this dish taste, correct? I see. So if the waiter said that he's never eaten it before, that will seem a bit odd. Precisely. As a matter of course, anyone serving their customers may be deeply acquainted with the taste of the tea and food they serve. And you'll always feel happier serving a sort of tea that you've tried and enjoyed for yourself. That's right. After tasting tea is delicious, I can't wait to let everyone else try it. And because of that, we servants must be very familiar with the taste of all sorts of foods. That's why sampling food whenever I can is part of my job description. It's a perk as well as our job. Do you understand? Yes? Everything is proceeding smoothly. Are there any problems with the tea? Oh, Kenji-san, you must try some as well. Seeing as it's almost Halloween, I decided to make some pumpkin tea. Later, perhaps. Family will be arriving at the mansion very soon. Look, I thought the children would be joining in. Yes, sir. The cups are ready to go as well. At that moment, the kitchen extension line started to ring. Kenji, who was standing right beside it, swiftly picked up the receiver before the second ring. Shan and the others always thought Genji looked like a samurai when he did this. Understood. Take care when guiding them. After giving that short response, Genji set the receiver down. That was Canon. The relatives will be here shortly. The children are with them. Shannon commence à avoir goût. Non, il a décroché le téléphone, mais Canon était à côté de lui dans la pièce. C'est drôle ça. Gonna hurry up with that tea. Yes, sir. Family conference. It was the largest event of the year for the servants. They were all excited and determined to make it through together once again this year. Kurosama, I have let the relatives here. Oh, there you are. One day, any troubles on your trip here? Listen, you've been doing pretty well for yourself lately, haven't you? Isn't it about time you bought a private jet? After all, no one was in the plane but the family as usual. I'm glad Aunt Shan made it. I was so worried when I heard she was too sick to come. Thanks for your concern. She suddenly got all better this morning. My tummy ache went away. I rubbed my tummy clockwise. Ooh, that's a magical ritual to heal tummy aches. No, Maria, quiet down. Oh, is that Batlico? You've grown so big. It's been 6 years, hasn't it? You've grown splendidly. Well, I do keep getting bigger at least. Can't really say that the bad it gets, though. I'm just happy though that he's still the same old Battler clone. Battler may be bigger, but he's still Battler. This brat's always been terrified of falling off planes and boats and stuff. It must be Asimus and blood, right? When I was a kid and went to Timp's Rocks, we always went on some of the wilder rides. That's probably why they did it. Don't they have height restriction for those? I don't mean that kind. You know those paddle boats and ticket rides, right? Looks like we took those a bit rough back in the day. You've always gotten a bit overboard on rides like that with your dope Nissan. I see, poor Battlecon. Poor Battlecon indeed. See, it's comforting in a way. Even after all this time, nothing says Battlecon like a fear of frightening things. Winston isn't scared of frightening things, he's just scared of falling of them. Fall, eh? Hey, stop running around. Maria, you're one of the big cousins now, right? It's a good example. Pardon me, I've brought some tea for everyone. A pleasant aroma followed Shannon as she came into the room, pushing a serving cart. Even Aunt and Maria, who had been running around in circles, sat down obediently when they heard that drinks were here. By the way, what's that doing? He should be down here soon. He's been working about all morning trying to choose a tie. You mean all that about choosing an attire suitable for the family head? Has always been picky about ties, hasn't he? It's just something he has passion for. Staying stylish is a good thing. And yet he always shows up wearing the same tie in the end. Family members burst out laughing. The sweet scent of Goda's specially made pumpkin tea spread throughout the parlor, and the calm atmosphere grew more cheery and excited. Look mama, it's a pumpkin cookie for Halloween! Oh, that's right, this sweet scent is kabocha, isn't it? That's right, today we have some special pumpkin flavored tea for you to try. It really is delicious, so I suggest you should try some without sugar first. Nixon, watch your sleeve. Wow, so kabocha tea actually does exist. But Hassan already did his homework. Delicious, this is excellent. You can taste the kabocha's natural sweetness. Kabocha tea, huh? Still, kabocha always tastes best in tempura. It's pumpkin, not kabocha. Yeah, pumpkin is different from kabocha. This is pumpkin. Maria seemed to think the English word was more fitting for Halloween, but it looked like Ange thought kabocha and pumpkin were entirely different things. Everyone lost, but Ange, not knowing where she was being lost at, cocked her head to one side discontentedly. Just when it looked like she was about getting a bad mood and started grumbling, Maria started teaching her cookie game, and Ange immediately became engrossed with that distraction. Then the sound of approaching footsteps drifted in from the hallway. When the relatives realized whose footsteps those must be, they straightened up. Those quick footsteps stopped for a moment just outside the parlor door. I saw someone was taking a deep breath and setting up a dramatic pose. Then the door exploded open and Skinzo yelled out loud, with Genji and Ninja standing behind him. Happy Halloween! Qu'est-ce qui se passe? Qu'est-ce que c'est que cette game encore? C'est... And trick or treat! Je sais pas. Cousins shouted it back. The adults returned the greeting too, looking embarrassed and refusing to meet his gaze. Angela stood there with her mouth open, unable to comprehend what had just happened. Welcome, my grandchildren. If you don't give me a treat, I shall trick you. Go ahead, Maria. What Halloween, grandfather? I got you a really incredible one this year. You'll be surprised. Maria picked up a present that had been hidden behind the sofa. Come to think of it, all the relatives were now holding similar packages. Come on, Ange, you too. Give this to grandfather. Carrie handed Ange a neatly wrapped present. Oh, Maria, you're always so thoughtful. Grandpa's so happy. Ça me rend... Ça me rend inconfortable. C'est bizarre. As Kinzo looked Mario present, a smile broke out across his face and he rubbed his cheek up against it. Master Jinichi. Oh, that's right. You have pleased your grandfather greatly, my granddaughter. In return for the treat you have given me, I promise not to trick you all in this coming year. No, it's your turn, grandfather. If you don't give me a treat, I'll prank you. Indeed, I'm well aware, Genji. Here. Genji fished through something that looked like Santa Claus' sack and pulled out a present addressed to Maria, handing it over to Kinzo. Here you go, Maria. Here's a present from me. I'm warning you, it's so cute. C'est pas possible. Enfin, en fait, c'est mignon que Butler ait fait ça, mais c'est tellement improbable. Such a waste to give it up to you, Master Jinichi. This is a present from the Ushima family head to Maria. It's a cute item worthy of the Ushima family's Jinichi and Grace. Take good care of it. Thank you, grandfather. I love you. Whoa, Maria, my adorable granddaughter. Wow. Qu'est-ce qui se putain de passe? At this point, even Genji had to give up on Kinzo's Jinichi. Still, the Jinichi of the family had lasted a full 10 seconds longer than usual this year. Happy Halloween, grandfather. This is from me. Happy Halloween, this one's mine. I hope you like it. Oh, George, Jessica, I must thank you once again this year. I'm so happy. With tears streaming down his face, Kinzo hugged George and Jessica. Oh, I'm Butler too. I'm so glad you returned to the family. It's been lonely without you these 6 years. Well, anyway, happy Halloween. I'm not sure if you like it though. Don't worry, Butler. I know you have things you want to say, things you want to ask. But no, it's not the time. Grandfather, I'm glad that you have returned to the Ushima family. Makes me feel happy. Slowly Kinzo moved forward and hugged Butler. Butler drew back at first, but then he understood Kinzo's feeling and hugged him back. Ange watched this scene plays out, shocked. Was Ushima Kinzo always this kind of person? Oui, bah oui. Oui. Bien sûr. Ange, you're up. Go on, give it to grandfather. Ah, okay. Ange didn't have a clue what was going on. She took the present her mother had given her and walked forward timidly. Kinzo's face, which had looked so cheery a second ago, suddenly became stern as soon as Ange stepped forward. No, it didn't become stern. That expression was the one always worn by the Kinzo inside Ange's mind. It was Ushima Kinzo. He was fickle, short-tempered, and always wore a stern expression on his face. He was the most terrifying person in the Ushima family. It felt like all the world went suddenly quiet, and it only did it when I stepped forward. Why? Why only for me? But isn't this how it should be? Isn't the Ushima Kinzo I expect? The Ushima Kinzo I understand? I was like a puppet carrying a cheat spray. I walked forward bewildered with the present held in front of me and stopped in front of Kinzo, without letting his expression change in the slightest. Kinzo slowly reached out and touched the present. Ange! In an instant, Ange woke up in a firm embrace, present and all. Kinzo's white beard rubbed against her cheek. Grandpa is so happy! I'm so glad to be blessed with such lovely grandchildren. I feel happy, so happy that you just won't stop. Master, your nose is running. that and your dignity. How can she forgive me? As the old man blew his nose, he didn't look like he could possibly be anyone other than a kindly grandpa overcome with tears his grandchildren gift. Alors, ce qui est bien, c'est qu'en fait, on voit ce qui devrait se passer dans une famille normale. Si c'était pas une famille de gros détracos de merde, en fait. Mais bon. Malheureusement. Enfin, c'est peut-être même un peu too much, même dans une famille normale. Thank you, Hanch. I heard that you chose to come here even though you weren't feeling well at all. I'm so glad. Here, this is for you. He pressed a large gift box to Hanch's chest. Finally realized that all of Kinzo's presents were wrapped differently and in boxes of different size. I wonder what he got you, Hanch. I hear that grandfather always personally chose what he'll give each one of us. Pretty incredible with all these people. He picks them himself. Every year. He does what every year? He picks what himself? This bizarre ceremony happens every year. The cousins were all happily chattering about what their Halloween presents would be this year. Maria came up to Ange and suggested that they compare the weights of the presents, but for some reason Ange just stared blankly. After that, the adults also handed their present to Kinzo one by one, receiving a gift in return along with considerate words about their health and questions about how they'd been doing recently. Then, after watching to see all that exchanges had been completed, Goda appeared and announced that lunch was ready. Ah, is it ready? Come, ladies and gentlemen, let us enjoy the splendid lunch that Goda had prepared for us. Quickly to the dining hall. This way, everyone. Follow me. You will carry your presents to your rooms in the guest house. Please feel free to leave them as you leave for lunch. The relatives stood up, leaving their presents where they lay on table and sofas, and followed Kinzo out of the parlor. Only Ange remained standing there, stunned, as she clutched the present Kinzo had given her. Goda's lunches had never betrayed expectations before. When Hideyoshi said that these meals were the only reason anyone came to see these family conferences, everyone laughed and nodded. Delicious food caused conversation to erupt all over the room. You've gotten so big, how have you been lately? Pretty good. It was a fun meal with everyone asking each other about the latest and laughing together. The Ushirama family sat at meals in specific ranked sitting order, so the adult siblings, the cousin and their spouses all sat in groups. The conversation sprang up naturally. Ange had withdrawn slightly from the cousin chat and was looking around the dining hall. What are Kinzo and the adult sibling doings? The conversation seemed to be peaceful and fun. Most of the time, the siblings were mother or father of their own household. However, when they gathered together by themselves in front of Kinzo, that burden was lifted from their shoulder, and they became young and bright as though they'd gone back to being kids again. Rudolph, who was usually an easygoing father who knows and a sense of dignity, became so bright and cheery in this group that it almost looked like there was another battler. Even Kinzo looked peaceful and relaxed. He didn't say a word about money or their inheritance. In fact, he didn't even insult his children or call them incompetent. He just looked like a happy old man, genuinely pleased to have his whole family together for the only time this year. The group of spouses was just as harmonious. The mothers kept bringing up problems with education and household matters, as well as family health issues. Hideyoshi and Nanjo happily joined in on their conversation. And what about the cousins? There was no way such an enjoyable meal with such a fun group of friends could fail to be raucous. Maya was in her element, showing off her knowledge of Halloween trivia. George and Jessica would nod in understanding. Butler would say something stupid and Maria would laugh at him. If I wanted, I could easily join in that conversation. And if the dessert caught my attention, I could easily slip out of the conversation too. It was happiness, both fun and natural. It felt like waking up from a daydream to be greeted by the rays of the springtime sun. According to the weather report, gelé. You can expect a big storm sometime tonight. It's supposed to be a typhoon. Lulu, yo! Faut quoi? Est-ce que... T'arrives sur une Jojo en plus. Est-ce que... Quelqu'un peut m'expliquer pourquoi la game made just for Ange c'est My Little Pony Friendship is Magic? Non, la game ultime où tout le monde est content. Genre, c'est trop mignon en vrai. C'est trop... En fait, c'est trop mignon, mais je vois pas où ça va nous amener, juste. Mais c'est trop mignon, par contre. C'est Mimi de la part de Butler. Je me laisse porter, mais... Déjà, voir Kinzo comme ça, bon... En fait, tu sais, c'est comme se dire, oui, laisse-toi porter, d'accord, mais... Tu sais qu'il y a rien qui va, et que tout est off, genre. Genre, tu peux pas... Là, tu sors de la fin du chapitre 7. Je sors de la fin du chapitre 7, je suis un homme brisé. Et là, on me donne une game de la gentillesse incarnée, quoi, finalement. Give us a break. We do have work to get back to. Why don't you leave the island, father? That way you go to your grandchildren whenever you want it. Ah, true. Living on a remote island may have a sense of majesty, but haven't you had you feel of it? It's too noisy in the city. I much prefer a quiet island with no one on it but my family. I like it here. But on Rock'n'Jima, if something happens, it will take some time for a doctor to arrive. I agree. At your age, I think you should at least consider moving to Nijima. I am old now. I want to live in peace, surrounded only by my family. And I am satisfied. I have this island to make that dream of mine come true. Father. Je jure que quand Kinzo est arrivé dans le salon en faisant Trick or Treat, Happy Halloween, j'étais en mode bon, ouais. Battler, je t'aime beaucoup. T'es vraiment le GOAT, mais c'est too much. Il y a vraiment quelque chose qui va pas. Ladies and gentlemen, this ends Godda's lunch. Grandchildren will probably be raining constantly starting tomorrow. Noise your chance to see clear skies. Why not enjoy the flowers and take a walk on the beach? That sounds good. Okay, everyone, let's go. Hey, I'm gonna take the flowers and walk on the beach. We can collect shells and collect glass too. Glass? That sounds a bit dangerous. Fragments of glass get washed by the waves and become round, beautiful gems which drift to shore. Did you forget, Butler? Remember how we used to pick them up together? Oh, were those glass fragments? I always thought they were just pretty stones. Have you ever seen a glass gem, Ange? No. Then let's go. I'll show you. Let's go, let's go. But the first one to see them get to keep them. Ah mais Ange Pipou, elle est trop mimi, genre. Après, elle a la clé de la Golden Land autour du cou, quoi. I'm gonna get them all. In that case, I'm not gonna lose either. Let's see if we can find the prettiest, biggest glass gem. Alright, at times like this, why not be a kid? I'm not gonna lose either. Then we'll head down to the beach. Indeed, take it easy and enjoy your time together, grandchildren. The Cousins Rose. Est-ce que c'est vraiment juste 20 heures de pure beauté et gentillesse pour nous donner un peu de bonheur après tout le malheur de 7 chapitres, genre. Ce serait mérité. Ce serait mérité, mais j'y crois pas une seconde, va tellement y avoir une couille dans le potage. Enfin, j'y crois plus avec ce jeu. C'est impossible. Mais j'apprécie l'effort. J'apprécie l'effort. The cousins rose from their seats and noisily left the dining hall. Elle avait dit quoi, Bern? Vas-y, dis-le moi, parce que c'est peut-être un truc que j'ai zappé. Ou dont je me rappelle pas. Ah, que c'était la vérité pure de ce qui s'était passé sur l'île, le chapitre 7. Redis-le. Je l'ai lu, mais je l'ai peut-être plus. Ah, c'est vrai, c'est vrai. Après Burn, on l'emmerde, quoi, hein. Est-ce qu'on peut se dire qu'on l'emmerde, juste, voilà. Et puis, comme ça, juste, on a une petite happy end à la fin, même si on sait qu'on peut être dans le déni constant et que c'est pas vrai, et que... Moi, je pense que Bernacel, on l'encule, c'est tout. D'ailleurs, faut que je fasse le groupe pour Higurashi, putain. Je m'en occupe tout à l'heure. Et Yoma termine. Nick Berncastel, mais bien sûr. On va avoir une happy end, j'espère. Enfin, on sait très bien que ce sera pas une happy end. Mais le pire, c'est que Rika dans Higurashi, je la kiffe, moi. J'ai pas envie de la détester dans Higurashi, je la kiffe Rika moi. Mais... Voilà quoi. However, Ange's expression was vague and absent-minded, the opposite of Maria's full smile. C'est un peu trop beau là. Allez, Pipou Ange. Il a dû trouver le seul fragment sur 2 millions Battler où Ange était pas malade pendant la réunion, où elle s'était remise à temps. The cousins walk along the beach, playing in all kinds of ways. They search for bits of glass, polished by the wave to become small and gem-like. They got up on new seashores leaves and jogged around. They wrote words in the sand. They chased the receding waves and ran away from the coming ones. The cousins enjoyed the time they had to themselves. Back here, Maria. You won't get off easy this time. Yeah. No way, no way. You'll get hurt if you fall. Be careful, you two. Genre, imagine tu tombes d'une falaise et tu meurs, quoi. Ah, Kenjima, ça serait pas de bol, comme... Feels like the wind's gotten stronger. Maybe we should head back soon. You're right. I think the sky is getting cloudier too. Attendez, j'ai peut-être parmi les dernières fois où je peux sortir mes lunettes de détective. Attendez. Erika est plus là, faut faire le boulot soi-même. Hein. Je pense que la vérité, c'est que Rudolph et Carrier ont tué tout le monde. Voilà. Alors, par contre, j'ai réfléchi un peu en... J'ai réfléchi un peu en amont, vu que j'ai pas joué hier. Chapitre 7. On voit la vraie vérité. On n'a toujours pas vu Battler mourir. Est-ce qu'il y a une possibilité, ou peut-être que dans la vraie vérité, il n'est pas vraiment mort? C'est le seul truc auquel je me raccroche actuellement, et c'est pas beaucoup. Je vous jure que c'est pas beaucoup. Genre, je m'accroche avec un doigt à la falaise. C'est pas beaucoup, mais j'ai quand même ce truc. Pour ne pas m'effondrer en pleurs, genre. Voilà. On n'a toujours pas vu Battler mourir au chapitre 7. On nous a tout montré, pas la mort de Battler. C'est bizarre, quand même. Je vais pas croire à la magie, je vais croire en sa survie. En fait, la seule possibilité pour que Battler soit mort, c'est que Eva l'ait tué. Puisque Eva tue Kairi. Mais Battler était encore en vie après ça. Et allait vers la chapelle. Donc, on n'a pas vu ça, on n'a pas vu leur interaction, on n'a pas vu qu'il était mort. J'ai réfléchi après à ça. Mais du coup, Battler est peut-être... vivant. C'est le seul truc qui me raccroche un petit peu. C'est vraiment le seul truc. Et c'est terrible. Mais bon. Ah oui, Battler, c'est une très très bonne question. Ça, c'est pas une question que... C'est pas une réponse que je peux te donner. Il a peut-être refait sa vie quelque part en espérant pouvoir aider Ange, d'une manière ou d'une autre. Je sais pas. Je parle au hasard. D'ailleurs, je tiens à dire que même si ma théorie... Attendez, je remets les lunettes de détective. Ouais, on l'a laissé seul pendant 12 ans, ouais. Pourquoi pas. En fait, je vais le redire, on n'a pas vu Battler mourir. C'est le seul qu'on ne voit de mourir dans aucun des chapitres. Et même dans la vérité absolue de ce qui s'est passé ce jour-là, on ne le voit pas mourir. Je rajouterai une chose. Même si ma théorie de Eva dans son bunker avec les bombes là, que j'ai eu très rapidement quand ils ont parlé des bombes à Rokkenjima dans le flashback de Kinzo, même si elle s'avère fausse, en l'an 98, quand Ange va à Rokkenjima, les bombes peuvent toujours être activées. Donc est-ce qu'on va pas avoir un outcome avec ces bombes, finalement? Ça n'a pas été mis là pour rien, je pense. Même si c'était un bon moyen de pression à la fin du chapitre 7, je pense qu'on peut avoir un outcome avec les bombes. C'est possible. Voilà. En mode, supprimons cette île de malheur qui a causé tant de mal. Boum. Je sais pas. Je tente des trucs. C'est les dernières théories que je vous offre. C'est ma bouteille à la mer. I think you should call it a day soon and head back to the guest house for the time being. No way, I wanna play more. Hey, don't ignore your cousin. Okay, that's all for now. Here, I'll give you my glass gem. Really? Thank you, butler. No, I have the most, so I win. Ange, are you okay? Yeah. What's wrong, Ange? You look a little down. She's just tired out. Come on, let's all head back together. Ange's expression probably did look tired. However, Butler alone thought she saw something else in it. What's wrong? Can you tell me? It's nothing. She said that, but something in her expression showed that she wasn't satisfied for some reason. Since Ange didn't say what it was, and Butler couldn't think of anything, he was unable to guess anymore. So he squeezed her small hand and silently letting her know that she could tell him whenever she was ready. Moi j'y crois à la théorie de Butler qui laisse Ange solo pendant 12 ans. Et voilà. Faut y croire. Even though it seemed like such a bright, sunny day a second ago, the sky turned grey. The wind started to feel more annoying than pleasant. If they waited around, they would probably see scattered raindrops as well soon. Ce serait pire. Je dis ça au hasard parce que j'ai pas envie qu'il soit mort, mais... En fait, je dis ça juste parce que j'ai pas envie qu'il soit décédé et qu'on n'a pas vu sa mort. Mais j'ai aucune raison de pourquoi il l'aurait laissé seul pendant 12 ans, en fait. Voilà. Donc j'ai dit un truc au hasard. Mais on n'a pas vu sa mort. Et bah c'est Butler, quoi. Donc qui sait? I guess it'd be raining the whole time from now on. What a pain. Even though it didn't last long, it was fun to be a kid again. Can't wait to show Mama this glass gem. Elle va te frapper, tu vois. Ah non, pas dans ce game mode, elle te frappera pas. Elle te fera un câlin, je pense. I'm gonna tell her I won. Even though you only won because I gave you mine. I got it, so it's mine. So I won. Ange walked distractedly, pulled along by her brother. George and the other thought that she had probably woken up too early and was tired, so they didn't try to talk to her much. Non, ma termine, non, c'est pas possible. Non mais dans le monde parfait, Kinzo a l'air d'être un mec bien, donc je vois pas comment Rosa pourrait être une merde. As they reached the end of the forest pass, the rose garden lay before them. They could see strong winds making the rose bushes wave. Mama, look! I won! Maya ran forward, waving her hands about and yelling. It looked like though Rosa was waving to them from the front of the guest house. I'm gonna head back to my room for a sec. I'll meet you in the cousin room right after. L'arbre génétique du School Days Universe, c'est quoi cette merde encore? Je pense faut lâcher ça, School Days, c'est pas très bien. Hein. Vrai, bon... La fin est surprenante, quoi. Mais c'est pas très bien, quoi, School Days. En vrai de vrai, hein. L'arbre est très drôle. Parle mieux de School Days. Ah, je vais pas parler mieux de School Days, hein. C'est même... Je trouve ça même très mauvais, moi. Hein. Mais bon. Avis perso, hein. Certes, la fin est surprenante, mais... Oui, d'accord, il faut... Oui, d'accord. C'est quoi cette merde? J'ai très peur. Shiny Days. Oh, tu m'emmerdes. Tu m'emmerdes, c'est bon. C'est un érogué en plus, non? Ça m'a toujours d'être un érogué de cette histoire. Bah je vais pas jouer à ça. Enfin, pas en stream. Ça, je te le dis, hein. C'est... On va éviter. Ou alors je vais sur Kick, quoi, mais... I'm gonna head back to my room first, I can meet you in the cousin room right after. Dis-toi bien le faux que de toute manière, quel que soit le jeu long que tu prendras vraiment pour de vrai, faut que je fasse le Dead God sur Isaac avant. Parce que ma termine l'a pris pour 250k aussi. J'en ai pour, je pense, facile... sans te mentir, j'en ai pour 500 heures, je pense. Ma termine, à vue d'œil comme ça. 500 heures, je pense. Un peu moins, peut-être. Un peu plus, peut-être. Ah bah si tu backseat... Si tu backseat, ça peut aller plus vite, alors. Non mais le faux, non, en vrai, si tu prends un truc à 250k, je peux le faire en même temps que le Dead God en soi, c'est pas... Isaac, c'est pas un truc que je peux farm 10 heures par jour, tu vois, c'est un truc où je fais quelques games dans la journée de 2-3 heures et j'arrête parce que c'est éprouvant en vrai. Donc si tu prends un truc un peu chill et tout, je peux le faire à côté, c'est pas un souci en vrai. Okay, got it. See you later then. I think I ran off the direction. Run in the direction of the mansion. George turned around that thought, suggesting that they had better get going too. However, when he saw Ange standing still with a crabby look on her face, he realized that something might have put her into a bad mood. Is everything okay? Yeah, she's fine. Sorry, but would you mind going on ahead of us? Sure, got it. See you later. George headed for the guest house. The only ones left in the rose garden were Butler, who was waving at George, and Ange, who was still staring at the ground and holding Butler's hand. For the past few minutes, he had repeatedly asked Ange what was wrong. He realized that it wasn't anything like a stomachache or something obvious that had made her grumpy. However, younger sometimes get upset for a reason that only they can understand. Butler knew this, so he didn't rush her in any way, and continued to gaze around the beautiful rose garden, holding her hand. Oni-chan, what is it? Where are we? She asked the question as though she was talking about something on the other side of the silver screen. Though Butler understood what the question meant, he played dumb. Where are we? We're on Rokkenjima, right? You're wrong. No, I'm not. Who is this Rokkenjima? He's the Rokkenjima of October 1st, 1986. Et là, le problème, c'est que Butler, lui, ce Butler-là, cette pièce, vu que Butler est le Game Master, la pièce sait, quoi, aussi. Je crois. The Rokkenjima you've wanted to see for so long? That's a lie. Why do you say that? This is totally fake. Ah bah. Ça, c'est de l'observation. Bravo. Ange wrenched her hand from her brother to grip. That hand hit a rose and sent flower petals flying. I don't lie. How is this supposed to be the truth? Ange spat those words out. However, Battle's expression remained calm and composed. What don't you like about it? Shomi Akinzo, for example. He wasn't anything like that, right? What grandfather wouldn't smile when he's been reunited with his grandchildren after a long time? Shomi Akinzo wasn't that kind of person. Shomi Akinzo was strict, disconstant, short-tempered, and quick to anger. So you do understand? What was that back there? What was that supposed to be Yoshimi Akinzo? Halloween? Exchanging presents? What the hell was that? That's nothing like Yoshimi Akinzo. It's nothing like Rokkenjima. Don't you remember, Ange? Remember what? We did that every year, didn't we? Every year? That? Well, I guess it's no surprise. The last time you went to family conference, you were less than 6 years old. So it's only natural that you wouldn't remember. It's only natural that I don't remember? Ange understood what her brother was trying to say. However, she couldn't accept it. It's true that Yoshimi Akinzo was a rigid man. When he was younger, he was strict with his kids, apparently. And no, it's probably not wrong to say that he was pretty traumatic for that and the other, and that they're still a bit scared of him. The grand tale of how Kinzo restored the Uchiha family was more than enough to paint him as a rigid, terrifying man. Furthermore, Kinzo was an investor. All the legends tell that made him seem more mysterious had probably worked in his business favor. Attends, mais il y a combien de personnes sur Rokenjima là? 4, 8, 12, 16, 19. Erika, sorry, but even if you do join us, bah on est 20 quoi. Enfin on est... Non, bah non, on est 19 du coup. MDR. Ouais, j'ai compté quelqu'un en trop, j'ai juste fait les lignes. Je fais 4, 8, 12, 16. J'ai juste compté les lignes, c'est tout. Ouais, non. Putain, y'a rien maintenant de l'autre côté. C'est dingue. Battler, il est bien sûr sur le soleil comme un dessin d'enfant. Non, mais c'est. Enfin. Là, Battler, c'est. Ange, elle va aller dans sa chambre, il va y avoir des. Ça va être une mer de bonbons, genre. At times, Kindle may even have acted out the spark people expected, endeavoring to make his presence all the more overpowering. That's why the world at large spoke of Ushirmia Kindle as a strict, short-tempered man, and they even thought of him as a fickle, bold, incomprehensible eccentric. But that was just the face grandfather showed to the world. That's not how he acted in private, along with his family. Are you saying that whipping old man who's doted on grandchildren is the real Ushirmia Kindle? He must have played with you and patted your hand many times. You really not remember? Stuff like that might happen once or twice, but it must have been a mere whims of his. My parents told me all the time, grandfather is a terrifying person, so make sure you act properly. They always said that he's very scary, so take care. And that means he was a scary person. When you were little, you would always accept whatever your parents said and take it too seriously. To put it nicely, you were obedient, but to put it bluntly, you were a kid with an overactive imagination. That and the other were just trying to make you realize how important it was to be polite. I saw it though. I knew about it. I knew that Ushirmia Kinzo was a scary person. I even seen him yelling in anger. I'll never forget it. Well, like you said just now, grandfather could be a bit abrupt at times. He might just have been trying to surprise you. Or it might have slipped out when he was having a serious discussion with his kids. And you think I just got scared for no... Putain, Butler qui essaye de faire de la manipulation mentale sur sa pauvre sœur de 6 ans. Pour qu'elle y croie. And you think I just got scared for no reason and got the wrong idea? That can't be true. I mean, I still remember it. I know I saw Ushirmia Kinzo yelling at being scary. Mom and Dad were terrified too, so I know I'm right. The impression you had of grandfather when you were young remained with you, and that impression grew inside you as you grew up. How many times did Ange see Kinzo in her life? How old was she the last time she saw him? Ange got sick easily when under pressure, couldn't have gone to Rokenjima often. And since she was absent for the family conference when she was 6, her last memories of him must have come from when she was just 5 years old. But even you haven't seen Ushirmia Kinzo for 6 years. That's right, but when I finally came back after 6 years, I saw that grandfather hadn't changed in the slightest. Kinzo was fickle, so you could never understand what he was thinking, and he was an eccentric with a creepy love for the occult, and it's true that he had a love for the occult. Yeah, it was a bit of a strange hobby for him to get into in his final years. I admit that his hobby of collecting strange objects to scare his grandchildren and laugh at them wasn't exactly praiseworthy. Even Butler had been pranked by Kinzo in the past. He'd do things like showing off an attached case with 7 strange stakes in it. Top! Top. And say something about how they were once used in the Middle Ages to gouge the hearts of victims in a witch ceremony. Et la game de Butler, c'est... Waouh! Vraiment My Little Pony là. Hein. Je suis en train de réfléchir, mais... Ouais, non. Grandfather only scared grandchildren because he wanted... Ah oui, j'étais en train de me dire... Pendant ce temps, il y a Will et Leon qui sont en train de courir derrière des chats affamés, là. On les oublie, genre, ils ont disparu, là. Il y a Will qui essaie de sauver le seul fragment où Sayo peut être un minimum heureuse dans sa vie. Et pendant ce temps, ouais, le subplot, ouais, c'est le fameux. C'est le Polnareff subplot dans Stardust Crusader, genre. T'as les autres, ils bouffent des glaces et lui, il se retrouve dans un shot avec un cochon en train de se faire percer dans la chambre, en train de. Enfin, c'est. Bah, c'est juste ça en fait. Grandfather only scared his grandchildren because he wanted to joke around with them. I'd be willing to bet that grandfather pulled a prank like that on you too. Not surprised that, young as you were, you let that scare you and convince you that grandfather was a strange, terrifying person. Don't know what you're talking about, Onichan. Ange bit her lower lip and stared at the ground. She said she didn't understand, but in truth she understood perfectly and was refusing to accept it. Remember how we traded Halloween present in the parlor just now? What was that all about? You're sure my family never did anything that sentimental? It's almost as though you don't remember it at all. Are you saying I got presents once too? I don't remember anything like that. That will never happen. Do you really think that grandfather, a man who loved the occult and Western traditions, wouldn't celebrate Halloween? Grandfather's Happy Halloween was a pretty much a standard greeting at our family conferences. He must have said it to you too. En fait, ce qui me fait un peu de peine là-dedans, je comprends l'idée de Battler, hein, de... C'est beau et c'est magnifique même. Mais en fait là c'est juste du pur mensonge quoi. Alors c'est du pur mensonge dans les grandes largeurs quoi. Est-ce que c'est bien de faire ça? Je sais pas. Hein. Yours can be so cruel. Even though grandfather pulled his whole heart into choosing those presents, it looks like your heart didn't remember anything. Ça veut dire que c'est un mensonge. Bon, s'il te plaît. Est-ce qu'on peut ne pas faire semblant? Comme ça, tu sais, tous les points sont sur les i, tout est carré. Mais on fait pas semblant, dans l'idée. I think that I was just too young to remember, and that was the truth of October 4th. On that day, just like 6 years before, grandfather entered the parlor with a cry of Happy Halloween. Then he and I traded presents as he shed tears over how long awaited reunion of the 6-year gap. Grandfather seemed so sad that Ange was unable to come. Après, la vérité, elle a été dite en rouge et elle est un peu plus... Elle est un peu moins rose, quoi. On l'a vu l'intérieur de la catbox, quoi. Je veux pas... Enfin... Je veux pas être délulu. Peut-être que toi, t'es délulu, hein. Je ne veux pas être délu au point d'occulter ce que j'ai vu il y a quelques heures, quoi. On va pas... hein. On l'a vu l'intérieur de la catbox, voilà. Sachez que je n'aurais pas pleuré pour rien. Si c'est pas la vérité, c'est que bah c'est dommage. C'est presque dommage. So I gave Carrie a present, telling her to make sure that Ange got it. I never heard anything about a present like that. Mom never gave it to me. True, she never had the chance. I don't believe it. I won't believe that was a breaking though. Then what about the family conference itself? Wasn't there a tense argument over the distribution of the inheritance? Ange, tu as 6 ans. Petite conne. Ça va, frère? Elle nous parle, elle a 50 ans là. Well, the other siblings were in money trouble. That's why they all longed for Ken's inheritance money. Ange, where did you hear that from? What do you mean, where? It's the truth, isn't it? You think Dad will talk to you about financial difficulties with his company when you were that age? And not just that. Even if Uncle Cross, Aunt Eva, and Aunt Rosa were in money trouble and wanted Kinzo's inheritance money, do you really think they talked about it in front of you? But it's true, isn't it? In the end, it was true. Aunt's words was not mistaken. Not only Rudolph, but even Gross, Yoshi, and Rosa had companies in money trouble. People started talking about the Rockenjima explosion accident. Hein? Attends, j'ai loupé un épisode où il est vraiment... Attends. Ça a pété quand? comment ça? Rokenjima, explosion, accident, là. Attends. C'est-à-dire, hein. Je crois qu'il y a un loup, là. Putain, mais au final, ma théorie qui va être bonne de la bombe qui fait boum boum. Alors ça, je l'avais pas vu venir. Mais comment ça? Quand, en fait? Quand, en fait? Je comprends pas. Magazines and television shows research the circumstances of Kinzo's children at the time. And in the future where Ange lived, that research had been made public. Quoi? Donc ça a vraiment fait boum boum? Mais quand? Est-ce qu'Eva a tout fait péter à la fin de la 7ème game et on l'a juste pas vu? C'est possible, hein. Eva dans son bunker. La... Franchement, si c'est cette théorie-là qui passe, je sais plus quoi dire. C'est n'importe quoi. Mais c'est drôle, mais... Parce que le moment où je l'ai fait, c'est n'importe quoi. Non, mais c'est vrai, le fond, mais c'est juste ça, elle a tout fait péter, quoi. Elle a vraiment tout fait péter après la vérité, quoi. You run up about all of that after 1986. But it's a fact, isn't it? There's no difference between facts and truth. Does that prove that the inheritance created a strange atmosphere between the relatives on Rokenjima? I guess that might fit with your memory of your parent telling you repeatedly to be extrapolated at the family conference. Are you saying that I know about Rokenjima what I know about the Shura family is wrong? You're the one who's wrong, Oni-chan. There's no way something like that could be possible. I won't accept that that was a Shura Kinzo. I could never accept that. So you don't believe, Ange? That's right, I don't believe. I don't understand why you're showing me something like this. After all, this is your game, no, your game board, isn't it? Ah oui, d'accord, donc là, y a plus rien de... Plus rien n'est vrai, là. First it was Beto and Burn. One witch after another, I sneer at my fate, trying to... Ah non, mais non, c'est Battler qui parle. I sneer at my fate, trying to make me surrender in their games. I want the truth. Witch illusion won't work on me. No, I get it, you damn witches. So... Ah non, mais non, c'est... Mais attends, mais ouais, je comprends plus rien, moi, attends. Ok, non, c'est Ange qui parle. Parce elle a été sur le game board, donc je comprends, en fait. I get it, you damn witches, so you sent Oni-chan as a final assassin to finish me off. You're right. C'est pas vraiment la Ange de 6 ans, du coup, qui est là, hein, on va pas se mentir, hein, c'est une coquille. Ah, le faux, quand il a vu ça, il devait être content, frère. Une meuf de 18 ans dans le corps d'une gamine de 6. Je rigole. La blague ne s'arrêtera jamais, je pense. Hein. C'est juste à cause de Shikuji. Non, mais on rigole. Unless... Plus moral que l'inverse. Oui, je suis d'accord. J'ai réfléchi, mais oui, je suis d'accord. Ça reste pas dingue, hein, mais... Bah, j'ai réfléchi des tenants et aboutissants des deux situations. Et oui, en vrai. C'est bouton rouge, bouton bleu, quoi. Est-ce que tu préfères tuer 50% de la population, mais t'es sûr de survivre? Non, vas-y. Ah, les boutons. Eh, j'ai hâte qu'on en revienne au débat des boutons dans 2 semaines, 1 mois. Sachez que ce débat de merde va revenir, hein. Le débat des boutons qui va revenir, hein. You're right, this is my game. So of course it's my tale and I'm the one making it. That's why I'm able to add in what if situations. Like what will happen if you came to the island too? You made this tale. It's all a pack of lies, a fiction you created. You're right. This is all a fiction I created. See? You've edited it. You have, haven't you? Just like I thought, this is all a lie you made. Why are you lying to me? Why won't you tell me the truth? Because there's something I need you to understand. Something more important than the truth. Something more important than the truth. What the hell are you talking about? The purpose of my game is to make you understand that. Just as Battle's game were made to make Battler believe in witches. Pas vraiment du coup. Battler's game was made to show Ange something that was more important than the truth. Games never bring about their intended ends by force. After all, Battle's game could never be won for all eternity unless Battler acknowledged witches on his own. Battle's game was the same. Battler couldn't win this game unless Ange acknowledged it herself. The Battler had advanced this game just as Battle has done in the past. To believe it or not, to accept it or not, the decision lay solely in the hand of the opponent. And so, Battler was trying to ensure Ange with his own illusion. I finally get it. This is a game between me and you, Anichan. Ange, I'm not trying to challenge you to a game. No, this is a game. I made a wish hoping to learn the truth of October 4th, 1986, and so you invited me to this game saying that you'd show me the truth. And now you're showing me this strange illusion, trying to make me believe that it's the truth. Well, too bad. I'm already used to dealing with witches. I can totally tell you that you're trying to use that kind of face of yours to trick me. The big brother realized that no words of his would have any effect on his enraged little sister, so he just quietly listened to Ange's words. But even so, Ange was dissatisfied. I've had more than enough of this stupid farce. If you don't plan on telling me the truth, then end it all now. I'll find my own truth for myself. I won't rely on you. Après, ta vérité, tu l'as trouvée déjà, ma grande. Hein. Malheureusement. That's right. There never were anyone I could rely on anyway. I've always been all alone. Sorry, I won't let you leave this game. Oh, that's right. Unless the game master admits defeat, the game never ends, right? That isn't what I meant. I'm just telling you to stay quiet and listen. Oh, sure. I just stay quiet then. Even if a player isn't around, the pieces just move by themselves and the game moves forward. Isn't that how it works? That's right. A player can step back and become an observer for a while if they want. And they can return and join whenever they want to. Then I'll do that. This is an endurance contest. I'll keep on going until you stop trying to cover up the truth. Something more important than the truth? I don't get it. How could anything like that exist? It does, Ange. Whether my tale is the truth or not, the fact remains that you've lost something precious on this island. Dad, Mom, and you, Oni-chan. I lost my family and everything that mattered to me. Despite all those words, I thought no further questioning would do any good and looked away. Even as he watched this, Butler's expression remained gentle. Just keep going wherever you like. Later, Oni-chan. At least make sure you watch the tale. Even just listening is enough. If I feel like it, later. Ça fait mal là. Butler, c'est sûr qu'il n'a pas de mauvaise volonté en plus, donc vraiment ça fait mal. Mais bon. Ange's eye clouded. Then a particularly strong gust of wind blew by, sending her hair flying. The wind must have been carrying some dust with it. Ange's nose twitched and she sneezed loudly. Oni-chan. What is it? How long are we gonna stand here? The weather's all weird. Let's go back to the guest house. Ange's eyes weren't cloudy anymore. However, the tone and atmosphere of those eyes seemed somewhat different from before. In a manner typical of young girls, Ange signaled that she was too bored and wanted to go do something. This Ange was clearly a 6-year-old Ange. Good point. Then why don't you head back to the guest house now? I'm going to stay here. Why, it starts raining soon. It won't be long now. So I'll wait here a bit longer. You're waiting here? What are you waiting for? Hein? Youpi! La goutte, peut-être. Then to Ange's eye, it looked as though the strong wind was carrying flakes of gold along with them. No, she had definitely seen something, but she wasn't able to describe what she had seen. To her, it seems like flakes of gold dancing on the wind. So here you are. I've been waiting a while now. It was as though he was talking to the wind. Oh! Birth of a new witch. OMG. Atlas spoke to the empty rose garden. That can't be right. After all, it was clear from his word that he was talking to someone right in front of him. So Ange thought it must be someone that she alone couldn't see, and so she rubbed her eyes. Then once she opened her eyes wide, another vast gust of wind blew past her. She shut her eyes immediately, and when she timidly opened them, from the other end of the rose garden, yes, from the path that led up from the harbor, a person appeared. To Ange it looked as though she had appeared along with a cloud of gold flakes carried by the wind. La goat! You're late, Beto. Am I? I'd call it early. You should ride in the boat with us every now and then. You mean grab the handrail and scream alongside you? Le monde où Badler va se farcir Shannon. Non, la phrase horrible. Ange, regarde jusqu'au bout, s'il te plaît. C'est important. Non. Ange, juste écouter, c'est suffisant. D'ailleurs, Shannon est certainement aussi une persona, mais est-ce qu'on sait quelque part si Shannon a vraiment ce comment dire, ce physique-là? Est-ce qu'elle ressemble vraiment à Shannon, ou est-ce qu'elle ressemble à Canon, ou à un espèce de mix des deux? On ne sait pas. On ne sait pas. Yeah, sure, let's scream. Fall. I see you're interesting. Yes, I suppose it's arrived too late. The pair casually walked up to each other and hugged. It looked like a pair of friends being reunited after several years. I was surprised by this unfamiliar woman, looked for somewhere to hide. However, her eyes met Berto's and she was unable to escape. Oh, and you must be Ange? She was shocked to hear this unfamiliar woman suddenly use her name. Bah, je veux bien savoir ce que le manga explicite, si ça ne le dit pas dans le VN, ça peut être intéressant. Look, even she can be so cute when she's 6 years old. Oh, Nichan, who is this person? A friend of mine. A friend? How can you say that? Oh, Nichan's friend. She's Beatrice. You've heard from grandfather, haven't you? How about the golden witch who gave the Wisherman family its gold? Haven't I heard that before? The golden witch. No, I remember. It was a scary witch who would snatch you up and carry off into the forest if you didn't listen to your parents or stayed up too late on Rokkenjima. Mom said that on rainy night, if you look at the window of the dark forest, you might see the witch looking back at you and get snatched away. Which must mean I'm supposed to be wandering about in the cold rain looking into each windows to find kids staying up too late? How pathetic that would be. J'adore. Oh, good point. Ange, your parent just made that story up to get you to go bed on time. Beatrice doesn't do stuff like that. Very well, allow me to introduce myself. I am Beatrice, the Golden Witch. Or a grandchild, at least. C'est bien. Et Birth of a New Witch sans les vocals, c'est quand même exceptionnel aussi. Hein. Attends. The Golden Witch will live for 1,000 years. He had surpassed the limit of humans and, like demons, will sometimes appear in response to the summon made by humans to offer a power in exchange for a price. He had been called here for a ceremony involving the return of a vast amount of gold, which the Ushima family received from her grandmother. Rokkenjima no longer has any need for the old arguments and tragedies. Wow. Ok. Il n'y a toujours pas la vérité sur Butler, hein, by the way. Grandchild? The grandchild part's a bit of a killjoy. Well, it's true, isn't it? The person that grandfather got the gold from and called the Golden Witch was your grandmother, right? I guess. The grandchild of the Golden Witch, am I? Can't get a better title than that. Is this person a witch? Yep, she is. She's a guest who's been invited to the family conference today. Isn't a scary witch? She's not gonna take my away into the forest. Damn Rudolph and Carrie. Tu peux t'arrêter à Dame Rudolph and Carrie, hein, je pense. So what do they think they're telling this kid about me? I don't do things like that. I'll lodge a firm protest later. She looked like a fiercely emotional person, but she wasn't at all what Ange expected the creepy Golden Witch to be like. She was very loud, overreacting to everything. Nothing at all like the witch Maria Onichan had talked about, who had lived for 1,000 years and had various servants from the demon world. She looked well like an energetic young woman, the kind Ange's mom might have gotten along great with. Her brother and the witch held together, happily like a pair of close friends. Dogs tend not to trust people they meet for the first time. However, people say that they calm down once they see that their owner is on good terms with the stranger. C'est vraiment la game où... Hey, Battler, il s'est dit, c'est une game pour ma soeur, mais je me fais un petit kiff quand même. C'est vraiment la explicit game, quoi. Surely something similar to this was going on this Ange's art. Ange kept staring at this pushy, temperamental woman who called herself a witch, as she chatted happily with her brother. What's this key for? Leto noticed the gold key hanging from Ange's neck. Ange automatically and defensively grasped it. That's Ange's precious key. After hearing this back word, the witch stared blankly for a second. But almost immediately she seemed to understand what he meant. I see, is that how it is? I thought it'd be easier to understand if I made it clear what she's supposed to do. Fear not, Ange. No one's going to steal your precious key. Are you sure? Of course. That key belongs to you and the choice is yours. Butler and the rest of us as merely signposts to guide you on your path. When her brother gave her the key, he had said that it was very important, so he had to take good care of it. Ange didn't have a clue what the key was for, but it looked like Beata did. However, just like her brother had done earlier, Beata only spoke in riddles. This irritated Ange, but for the time being, the Golden Witch said that she didn't intend to steal the key, so Ange calmed down a little. Do you know what this key is used for? But of course. However, I cannot tell you. Why not? Because you must decide how to use that key for yourself. The witch said the same thing as my brother. They paired nothing to each other, but it was all Greek to me. Felt like someone had laid on a riddle that everyone knew but me, and everyone was making fun of me. You'll know soon enough. Don't waste time thinking about it. Ange held the key tightly. Even if she didn't understand what it meant, it was her own key and her big brother had told her to take good care of it. With her youthful suspicion, she was scared that the witch might ask her to hand it over, saying that she'd teach her how to use it. Of course, the thought showed up clearly on her face. The witch couldn't help but laugh at this honest expression. Fear not, it's impossible for anyone to steal that key from you. No one can steal it? You might say that it had been imbued with magic to make it so. At any rate, fear not. Neither I, nor Butler, nor anyone else on this island can steal that key from you. Really? Yeah, really. The magic won't let them. The key was hanging around her neck like an ordinary necklace. Ange could take it off right now if she wanted, and if another tried to use force, it seemed like it would be easy for them to take it away. However, both her brother and the witch said that it was protected by magic that will stop anyone from stealing it. Does magic really exist? Even the 6-year-old Ange knew about the word magic. However, she also realized that the real magic didn't exist, and that certain kinds of magic tricks were sometimes called magic. However, her brother and the witch were talking about magic itself. Yeah, magic exists. En vrai. Après 8 chapitres. Après 160 heures de lecture. C'est beau. C'est beau. Tout ça pour ça, du coup. Really? Maya spoke of me often, did she not? She says that witches exist. And she often tells you that magic exists, correct? C'est beau en vrai. Butler, il a bien changé, hein? C'est beau. Sure, Maria had talked about that many times. When they were just playing, Ange had believed her, more or less. However, Ange was in some ways sharp for her age. And when she heard Maria talking happily about magic, she sometimes thought that just the thing couldn't exist, really exist. Then show me. Hmm? Show me magic, or I won't believe you. Hold up a sec. Beata just arrived on the island and she hasn't even gone to say hi to everyone at the mansion yet. Atlas spoke and thought he was trying to smooth something over. When she heard that, Ange became sure that magic didn't exist after all. Magic is such a bunch of lies. I know. Hey, stop that. You hurt Beata's feeling. No, it's no problem. Anyone will say that about meeting a witch. Normally I will learn your provocation from such a small child, but she's your little sister after all. Why don't we give her a special showing? Are you sure? Of course I am. Watch carefully, Ange. Okay. Though Ange had challenged the witch, now that she was about to be shown magic, she looked a bit hesitant. She gulped and stared up at the witch's face. The witch held out the left hand, bringing it close to Ange's face. Wow. Fate, la musique. Then she slowly spread her finger. Ange, thinking that she was about to be turned into a frog, shrunk back. However, after waiting a while and grating her teeth, she realized that nothing was happening. So the part of her that had been scared began to get angry. Nothing's happening. Don't jump to conclusions. I haven't used magic yet. You look careful at my palm. I'm not hiding anything, correct? Also, that's what she's doing. Now that she finally understood, Ange checked both sides of the witch's hand. Yeah, there's nothing there. Watch closely. I'll make a fist. And then stretch out my index finger. She stretched out her index finger and laid it right in front of Ange's eyes. Ange, thinking that she'd lose the game if she took a step back to the ground and concentrated on the fingertip. Watch the tip of my finger closely. Ready? It will be fast. The witch rapidly lifted her index finger high into the air, pointing at the heavens. She looked up to see the finger raised high. It swung down as though trying to dodge a gaze. In that manner. Up, down, left, right, left again. C'est Konami code. Ange, feeling as though she'd lose if she couldn't keep up with the fingertip, swung her face this way and not looking serious. Even since she was very young, Ange had itchy to lose. She will take even the most trivial game seriously, determined not to lose to the adults. The witch's hand moved faster and faster. Ange didn't lose track of it. Then the high pointing finger was swung down all of a sudden. The index finger curled up again and the hand was held in a simple fist. Could it be that something was going to come out of that hand? Ange, who was suspected that this might happen, had followed the finger very closely. There was no way that one's empty hand could have grabbed anything. Really? I'm going to open my hand? The witch slowly opened her right fist and there. What? Oh, Oni-chan. The witch gave the cutely wrapped candy to Ange as a present. Ange took it and desperately searched for some kind of trick on it, but it was just an everyday, ordinary candy. Oh, that was a trick, wasn't it, Oni-chan? Oni-chan! Nope, that was magic. You were watching the whole time, weren't you? Instead of watching the whole time, how did it happen? Ange didn't like it, but she was unable to see how that could have been anything other than magic. As the little sister furrowed her brow and bit her lower lip, Rosa gently told her again that she was magic. Da-da-da-da-da. It's about time for me to head on the mansion to pay my respects. You should come along, butler. I see if I get here if I have to go alone. You're sure, then I join you. What about you, Ange? Will you go back to the guest house? I want to stay with you, Oni-chan. She still couldn't accept it. However, could it really be? She still looked grumpy, but it looked like she was getting interest in this witch. Magnifique cette OST en vrai. Plus je l'entends, plus je l'aime. Then let us go. The Golden Witch returns. The Golden Witch's grandchild returns, you mean? Oh, we need to do something about that name. The big brother and the witch really did seem close. With kindred spirit, like a pair of comedians, they started walking. Ange handed him the corner of her brother's sleeve, trying to make sure he didn't forget about her. C'est bon, ouais. C'est Mimi, mais bon, on fait quoi avec ça? Putain, la game où il se rappelle, quoi. Quel kiffer, ce battler. The VIP room was filled with a sweet smell of pumpkin tea, and packed with smiles and laughter. Simply splendid. I am glad to see you in such high spirits. I could say the same for you. What did you say you were reaching your last years? I just borrow a bit of cheer from you. Once I return to my city, I will be little more than a withering, senile old man. Enough with your lies. Give it up and swear that you'll be living at large until you are 100. Same here. I haven't seen you for 6 years, but I was surprised to see how little you changed. Ah, you little brat. So it seems you learned flattery during these past 6 years. Sorry to disappoint you, but you're hardly a fair judge in the matter. I have grown quite old indeed. I bet it's hurt in the end that Kindle's still doing great when he turns 100. Yeah, me too. Grandfather won't be any different when he's 100. Don't think you get any present for complimenting me. Kindle lost surely. Beato, who sat next to Butler, was also laughing merrily. Attendez, faut que je save, j'ai pas save du chapitre, moi. Complètement fou. Ange stood all alone by the window, staring at the other and trying to figure out what sort of relationship the witch of the portrait and her grandfather had. There was a knock on the door. Is that you, Genji? Come in. Pardon the intrusion. For Sama and Netsui-sama are here. Father Oh and Badler-kun's here too. It has been some time, Beatrice-san. Had there been any news? I'm just the way I used to be. Come on, have a seat. And Ange, why are you standing by the window like that? Come over here and sit down. Ange, come over here. I just watch from here. Ange grabbed the candy she had gotten from Beato tightly, and with a gaze that was still wary, she continued to stare. Genji offered her a chair, but Ange shook her head. Let her do as she please. Come, Cross Natsuyan, have a seat as well. Is it something important? I guess Ange and I should leave. Hey, if you leave, who's going to back me up here? So you don't mind if Butler stays, do you? I have nothing to hide. I care not. I already had called Cross and Natsui to the VIP room to meet Beatrice, the Golden Witch. It was hard to imagine that Kinzo wanted to have a casual conversation. After Kinzo said he didn't mind, Beato also asked Butler to stay, so he decided to do so. In order to avoid getting in the way of their conversation, Butler stood up from the sofa and walked over to Ange's window. When the big brother finally came back to Ange, she clung to his waist, as though determined not to let him go away again. Oh, I see. That must be why Ange doesn't like me. What do you mean? Ange doesn't dislike you, does she? You really don't understand women, Butler. Beto smiled at Ange, but the latter turned to look to the other way. Even a young woman is a woman nonetheless. When Beto stopped laughing, the conversation switched gears. Why on earth did Kinzo summon Cross and Natsui to the VIP room, and what was he going to talk about? Everyone felt automatically silent. Golden Witch Beatrice? Each and every day I remember the debut from my family house from when it was saved from the brink of destruction. Yeah, you'd better thank me. Wait, actually your grandmother is thanking. Eh, Butler, on a compris, frère. Wow, c'est toutes les phrases. Toutes les phrases. When it comes to something, all of that gold had been lent to the Yoshimura family for 3 generations, and without cost. We truly cannot be grateful enough. Gold bars are the same as breaks to me. I had nowhere else to put them, so it was a relief to have Kinzo hold on to them. Whoa, I'd like to say that just once before I die. Is the Golden Witch a rich person? Well, yeah. After all, she just went and lent grandfather 10 tons of gold. Precisely. I've been borrowing it for several decades, always promising to return it someday. It is a debt I will never be able to fully repay. Your head family has never forgotten its gratitude. Isn't that right, dear? Of course, if the Beatrice hadn't kindly lent into us for 3 generations, I'm sure my family would have fallen long ago. Even someone as shrewd as father could not have done anything without friends to start with. Right now my money is making money, and the gold that made up my original funds can sleep in peace. Cross, do you know what I'm about to say? Since the moment Cross had been summoned here, he had guessed what Kinzo was hinting at now. All things borrowed must be returned someday. That day has finally come. Yes, I understand, father. Beatrice, I do not have many years ahead of me. In fact, this may be the last family conference that we will attend together. How faint-hearted you sound. You must be joking. Beethoven laughed. She looked at Butler, so he laughed along with her, but Kinzo and the others remained silent. Apparently there existed some major concern about Kinzo's health. Of course I do not intend to die as soon as next year. However, I don't believe I can make any certain promises about meeting you again. I never make promises I cannot keep. You say it so proudly like that, I'm in no position to disagree. Are you serious about this? Beatrice, I want to make amends. I must do it while I am still in high spirits. For that reason I made a decision today. What's Grandfather talking about? Quiet. Grandfather is about to talk about something very important. I know even Butler understood what Kinzo was about to propose. Yato probably realized it too. At one time, the Urshima family had ruled the skies like an eagle before being crushed by the Great Kanto earthquake. The eagle had one of its wings torn off and it crawled in the mud on the point of death. Then they were saved by the Golden Witch's golden miracle. Under the Golden Witch protection, the eagle had nursed its wound for many years, and now finally it was time for the eagle to leave the nest the witch has provided. I will return one of the gold that your grandmother lent me. Of course, you have no objections, correct? That gold didn't belong to the Urshima family in the first place. Of course, I have no objection whatsoever. Oui, bah oui. Ça, c'est la vérité sur Kinzo, ça. Mais sure, Cross? You're an investor, aren't you? You could always do with more money, right? Didn't you want Kinzo to hand the gold over to you? Vas-y, merci. Il faut, t'inquiète, je vais jouer encore une bonne heure, une heure et demie, donc tu vas pas louper grand chose à mon avis. Mais dors bien du coup, la bise, la bise. Yes, now that you mention it, it's hard to deny what you say. However, the contract was always between you and father, and the gold was yours to begin with. My husband is the successor after all. Just as father rebuilt the family in 1 generation, I'm sure my husband will make the family thrive in his. And this is something the two of us will do together. Well said. Yes, that's the spirit. So letting go of 10 tons of gold leaves you with no regrets? I must say that is quite impressive. What can a witch do against an opponent who cannot be swayed by the golden magic? I will return the gold to you, but the Urshima family will always be supremely indebted to Beatrice, the Golden Witch. You will return the gold once lent by the Golden Witch. It was both simple and clear. However, the expression worn by the Golden Witch herself was slightly lonely. Ange couldn't understand why this was. After all, if you're returning it, I cannot simply say, I don't want it, take it back. How well. Mantle rose from the sofa. Then she walked up to the window and looked down at the rose garden waving in the wind. Cross, I have also decided to present you and the others with my inheritance while I still live. Father, when I die you will not only be busy with the funeral, but I imagine that you will have Eva and in the other to report over the inheritance issue. If all is divided now, the funeral will be less trying for you. Cross, write this down, and Genji please be our secretary. I will now lay out the distribution of my assets. Ingo immediately began explaining how the inheritance would be split up. Butler, realizing that he shouldn't be listening in the conversation, walked over to where Beato was loitering by the window. Hey, rich person, if you got too much gold on your hands, I'll be happy to lighten the load. Gold would be more useful if you turn it into firewood and use it to cook a stew. What's the matter? You're looking a bit bored. So these days finally come? I do feel a bit lonely. You do? My magic revived the Urshima family and created Rokenjima. And now it seems the Urshima family no longer has any need for the power of the gold. It had taken flight, leaving the nest of my magic behind. True, that's how it turned out. I've called Rokenjima the Witch's Island, my island. Yeah. And now Rokanjima is returning to the goal to me. The day has come for Rokanjima to awaken from my magic. That's true. I know that it will be the last game. However, I know that we've reached this point, even in a manner such as this. It's surprisingly painful. You're the type of person who looks totally carefree, but is actually full of lingering attachment and regrets. Like for an obstinate ones are usually the quickest to grow attached and then to feel lonely. That's right. That's the kind of person you are. It was a game for you and me. It was fun. A great game you polished to perfection during those 6 years. I once likened it to eternal torture for the both of us. Eternity is happiest when you can still believe that it's eternal. But all things must end. And we have to be aware of that. Oh, c'est Mimi, mais bon, c'est triste. So we must not avert our eyes. Just as the sun always rises, there is no sun that doesn't set. Of course, Ange didn't have the slightest idea what her brother and the witch were talking about. However, even as young as she was, she could feel that the pair had spent an incredibly long time together. And that they understood each other so well that they might as well be a married couple. Then Beto noticed her reaction. Ange, at one point the two of us both game for each other. However, the time is now over. This game has been made not for our sake, but for yours. They were speaking in riddles again. Grasping the key that hung by her chest, Ange looked at her brother's face. I need to show you the contents of the cat box of this day. That key I gave you is for opening it. What do you mean by cat box? He meant this day. With the miracle of magic, I brought you to the day you wanted to reach so much. You must continue telling the story of this day as the final wish. Does that mean that I mustn't remain here? Ange's tone was slightly tense. She understood what her brother meant and it made her frown. Just how long I have suffered, wishing that I could return to Rokanjima of 1986, and now I finally made it here, so why are you chasing me out? You said I could decide for myself. That's right, I did say that. I'm not leaving, and please stop trying to spawn me with this strange made-up game. I want to know the truth of this day. You're a moody girl, be it 12 years in the future or in the past. Shut up, I didn't ask you, and what the hell do you think you're doing here? Didn't the Golden Witch come here to perform a resurrection ceremony? Didn't you appear on the island with a crash of thunder and try to offer up 13 people as sacrifices? Why are you taking so happy and casual? It doesn't make sense. You're the one that doesn't make sense. What are you thinking? Do you want me to be a murderer? Your work did not entail sailing to the message bottle and straight into the sea. 2 of those were discovered later on. Most of them were stories of cursed serial murders. What a shame that only 2 of them made it to shore. Also that land, my greatest masterpiece, was never seen by human eyes. Oh. Oh. I've been wanting to ask this for a while, but what's up with those message bottles? As I was working out the details for my games against you, I began creating those tales along the way. Once I realized that I could create endless different tales out of the same game board, it really started to get fun. You wrote them down, hoping that I read them someday? Precisely. They were so good I just couldn't bear to wait for your return. Inspired by Agatha Christie, I tried sealing them in bottles and throwing them into the ocean. Mysterious, don't you think? Don't mock me, those were your plans for the crime. You used the location of the hidden gold to fund up discontent between the family members. As you planned your brutal serial murders. Is that what I've become in the year 1998? Well, I guess I can't blame them. What was this sudden change of character? Is this some shame to make me let my guard down? I'm not gonna be fooled so easily, Beatrice. Ani-chan! You want to make me surrender and say that witches exist, don't you? You think I'd fall for that? I'll find the truth without your help. Even though the truth is all around you right now? You once called yourself Gretel, but it seems the name Mitchell would be more fitting. Sparav. Enough! Ange tried to slap Beto's cheek. However, the difference between their height was so great that Beto dodged before the hand could reach her. Stupid, stupid! I won't accept it. I'll never acknowledge this farce as the truth. After Ange yelled those words, her eyes grew cloudy. They cleared up almost immediately. By that time, she had already gone back to her 6-year-old self. You're right, Ange. This is the sin I left behind and the reason for this final day's existence. As Ange stared blankly and uncomprehending, Beto gently patted her head. Indeed, this tale is a farce. Of course it isn't the truth. However, there is something that he feels he must tell you. Something it's so determined to convey that he went to such length. Nato, I'm already showing her. I don't want to force it on her. I see. I don't understand what you think. I'm sleepy. True, we should probably go take a nap. Kinza, must I remain here longer? My apologies, but I must ask you to stay for just a bit. Moving on, Pros, the continued support of the Fukuin house should be viewed as your responsibility as your Chimia family head. What a pain. Forgive me, Battler. It seems I cannot go with you. Genji, will you mind taking this too to the guest house? As you wish. Battler-sama, please follow me. Thanks. See you later, Bato. Of course. I have a mountain of things I wish to discuss with you. I'd like to have some time alone tonight. Ouh là 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 là! Battler, le kiffeur ultime par contre, hein. Oh yeah! Battler, il s'est dit, quitte à ce que je sois mort puceau en 86, autant réécrire un peu l'histoire. You must take the part of a married couple every now and then. Oh! What do you mean take the part of a married couple? C'est... ouais. Bientôt... c'est chaud là-dedans. Because Ange had gotten so bored, she had grown very sleepy. It would probably be best for her to take a quick nap. Butler walked through the windy rose garden, pulling her by the hand. When he questioned their guide, Genji, he learned that the old servant had known beforehand of Kinzo's desire to return the gold to Beata, and settle the inheritance problem early. The master decided to start preparation early for his final task in this world, the ending of his life. Most people don't think much about what happens after they die. Guess grandfather just lives on a whole different scale. Today marks the start of a new flight, when the Rikuria family will depart from the Golden Witch's patronage. That's true. That's a pretty cool way to say it. Apparently a grand Halloween party was to be held tonight, and Vela and the others had been ordered to start getting ready for it. However, it wouldn't just be a party. It would be a ceremony to mark the return of Beatrice's gold. At the start of dinner, grandfather will make the announcement, and the 3 generations of Beatrice will be thanked for the gift to the family with a round of applause. Apparently this was what they had planned. Are we still keeping this secret from Dad and the others? Technically it's a secret. However, the master did not suddenly begin thinking in this way today. He had considered this day many times over many years, and not even discussed certain matters with his children. I doubt that any will be surprised to hear this night's announcement. Apparently my whole bastard's been running all over the place trying to get money for his company. I guess he'll be dancing around when he hears his grandfather giving him his part of the inheritance early. A nice present for him. I was just saying the great responsibility is what will spur him on. Even since Rudolph Somerville the Island, he has succeeded splendidly. En fait, Battler, il a compris, il s'est dit, je fais un tail où il n'y a pas de problème de l'or, parce que du coup on rend l'or, il n'y a aucun souci. Et en plus de ça, ils ont l'héritage vite. Comme ça, il n'y aura pas de massacre, personne tue personne, il n'y a pas de théorie. Voilà. Pas de raison que qui que ce soit s'entretue. Bravo, Battler. However, his success too far has been supported by the master's wealth. And that it's suddenly getting his inheritance money, he'll have to keep going by his own strength alone in the future. That's some nice pressure for him. The siblings might have suffered for decades because of their father's excess of success and ability. Simply having a parent who is too successful can be a great burden to a child. And tonight, they'll be leaving the nest, truly becoming adults for the first time. It seems the master planned to call this night a gold returning ceremony. However, he originally intended to call it a living funeral. Sounds pretty depressing, having a funeral while you're still alive. I admit that calling it a day to start a new journey and leave the nest fits the Shumia family much better. My child, I'm sleepy. Look, we're almost to the guest house. Do you want to go to Mom's room or to the cousin room? I don't care. I sleep until dinner. I was still holding her brother's hand, crouched down and looked at her. She was about to fall asleep. Matla lifted her up and carried her. She felt the warmth and safety of her brother's back. Ange drifted on to sleep. What happened that day? This what on Earth happened on October 4th and 5th, 1986. Because of the massive size of the rock and gym explosion accident. Ok, bon bah c'est confirmé. C'est confirmé du coup. The time of the explosion was known almost exactly down to the minute. That time was October 5, midnight. The sheer improbability of that round number proved that the accident had been produced by artificial means. Bon, c'est confirmé du coup. Eva, elle a fait boum boum. Ok. Later on, the following statements were collected from individuals who knew Ushimura Kinzo when he was alive. During his lifetime, Ushimura Kinzo built a clock rigged to blow up the island at exactly midnight. This clock was apparently inside his secret studio. When he felt mentally cornered and wanted to think up a brilliant plan, he would activate that device and use the tension of the approaching midnight to bring some flash of inspiration to him. While Ushimura Kinzo still lived, this was only thought of as a tall tale about the eccentric man, but the fact that the Rock'n'Gym explosion accident occurred at exactly midnight supported the story. C'est dingue. C'est dingue qu'il y ait vraiment eu un boom boom quand même. It sounds crazy. He must have... Oh putain, c'est le vieillard. Hein. He must have hoped to gain some sort of mystical power from the short period of madness. We call this a source of high output mental power. The story isn't that difficult to swallow. Professor Watsuki spoke passionately. Witch hunters, enthusiasts would create the mad fantasy surrounding Rock'n'Gym as their plaything. Ange had no reason to love these people, who embellished the deaths of her family just for the fun of it. How ironic it was to Ange, who wanted to know what happened that day, that such people knew more about the time than anyone else. If someone used that device, the island would be blown away without a trace. There would be nothing left. No matter what had happened there, they could erase it. Theories that Shurmia Eva was the ringleader of some conspiracy sprang up very early on. However, no one was able to explain how she set off such a massive explosion, and the rigged clock proved that such a thing was possible. Correct. We can theorize that Shurmia Eva, fully aware of the timing and expected radius of the explosion, took refuge in Ecuadorian. To get hold of the family wasn't to herself. She killed everyone and used the explosion to remove all evidence. That idea provides the most logical explanation for the Rock'n'Gym mystery. It also confirms with the fact that Eva never spoke to anyone about the events of that day. Where was that rigged clock and how did Eva find it? Several forgeries are speculated on this matter. There's no need for me to waste time thinking about it. Eva activated the clock device, hidden in Ecuadorian to escape the blast, and was therefore the only one to survive. That was everything the answer, which eloquently told the whole story. When Eva first adopted me, our relationship wasn't that bad at all. I asked her several times what happened that day. Every single time she answered, it was to say that she didn't remember. But, well, she must have been flustered at the time. The very first time I asked, she answered like this. I can't tell you about it. To the slip of the tongue, she knew what had happened that day. Ah, en fait, c'est terrible pour Eva. En fait, c'est terrible pour Eva parce que je suis persuadé qu'elle voulait limite bien s'occuper de Ange. Et qu'elle sait ce qu'a fait ses parents ce jour-là, et peut vraiment pas lui dire quoi. Et ça l'a rendue folle, je pense. C'est horrible en vrai. And she left this world without telling even a bit of the truth. She took the truth in a cat box and left this world, taking the key with her. There can be only one answer. She was behind everything. She got to keep all the family wealth to herself and became super rich. And afterwards she lamented the fact that her beloved son would never learn anything if she had created, and she cursed me. But remembering the old bitch make me want to vomit. Non, en fait, tu es juste la fille de ceux qui ont tué ton fils et son mari, en fait. C'est triste, mais c'est compréhensible. C'est horrible. What happened that day? That's what I want to know. It's my lonely goal, the one reason I'm still alive. However, later on I had to come to grips with the fact that my goal was an abstract one. After all, though, I don't know what happened that day. If it's a question of who did the crime, it's already clear. Shurmia Eva. She's the culprit. That has never changed since the beginning. That's right. I'm not trying to find out what happened that day. I'm trying to find out what Shurmia Eva did that day. If I can reveal that, then I can expose Eva's evil, even though she's already dead. That is my true goal. The police also suspected that the accident might be a crime, and they did investigate. However, no matter how much they inspected the crater that had once been Rock'n'Gym, they didn't find anything at all. Public and the witch hunters cornered Eva with several bits of circumstantial evidence, but not a single bit of physical evidence was found. Though Eva was only the merest fraction of a shade away from guilty, they were unable to expose a crime. My goal isn't anything as vague as learning what happened that day. It's to expose the crime Shurmia Eva committed that day, and to have my revenge. I haven't been able to expose Shurmia Eva's crime, so people are acting as though the events of the island were all done by some bizarre golden witch. Depicting the golden witch means exposing Shurmia Eva's sin. I won't forgive Shurmia Eva. I certainly hate her and take revenge for my family. That is Shurmia Ange's one and only reason for living. Oh putain.
Je vais pisser, j'arrive.
Pardon, me revoilà. If she knew you hated it that much, the president would probably be running around loafing in the next world. Shut up, I expose that whole bitch's crime. As if that was a perfect crime, but let's try it blown away. I never do that. In other words, this journey of yours is a journey to take revenge for your family. Got a problem with that? You must be joking. It's great to know that you have a purpose in life. How do you turn that off? Oh, not like Mr. Zeki. J'espère que c'est vraiment le nom de l'artiste qui a fait cette track. Amakusa turned the radio off. The little sound of the engine became the BGM that filled the car. Is it really so strange? Fighting for revenge? Not really. Out on the front I met people who live for that reason over and over. You've been on the battlefield many times as a mercenary, right? Well, I've seen a few. There are people who fight to take revenge for their families. Strong? No doubt about it. Some people even strap bombs to themselves and commit suicide to take revenge for their families. Humans are more than capable of dying for vengeance. That's right, I could do it too. Have you heard of child soldiers? I mean kids who fight like soldiers? That's it. Kids who love their parents and have nowhere to go sometimes get picked up by groups of armed insurgents and become soldiers. They get the gun thrust in their hand and they're told to take revenge. But in the end, children are expendables. Anyone can be a soldier in the battlefield if they can pull a trigger. Are you trying to say that I'm like that? Revenge can be a reason for living. It can also give you the strength to become a soldier. Like a miracle, it can turn a girl who could do nothing but sob over her parents' corpse into a soldier almost overnight. Nothing gives you more power than revenge. I guess so, and that's what I like. Do you know about the child soldier problem? No. Child soldiers who are given guns and told to take revenge make that their reason for living. Well, that's not exactly wise. It becomes their reason for firing with their guns. But revenge is something that never ends. At some point they no longer have any reason to keep shooting. What do you mean? They won't shoot for revenge, but eventually they keep on shooting for no reason at all. You mean they forget about taking revenge? Well, revenge is impossible. They eventually get tired of it and forget their original goals. When that happens, they have nothing except their guns. Eventually they keep shooting just so they can exist. You're saying that child soldiers who started using guns for revenge end up as bandits or something. After all, they've never even gone to schools and they haven't been taught any useful skills as far as employment goes. Then they learn how to shoot guns, and they're only even praised when they kill the enemy. Eventually your reason for living stops being revenge and becomes the means you once used to take revenge. It's sad, really. You're saying that I'll eventually get tired of revenge, and what will it be in my case? You get tired of exposing the truth, and you eventually become a person who can do nothing but hate Shumia Eva. Well, that's true already. Got a problem with it? Yeah. Come to think of it, it's right. I'm not sure what Amakusa is trying to say. Probably something annoying. So I'm not interested. Revenge is pointless. That's what you're trying to say? You still have a long life ahead of you, lady. With your youth, you could do anything. I get the feeling that this journey might be a waste of that precious youth. It's none of your business. I already jumped once, remember? Of that huge skyscraper. And you only barely made it out of that alive. Back then I died, so I'm already a ghost. And my only purpose is to expose the truth of that day, to take revenge on my family's enemy. Hey, that's an iron will you've got there, lady. There's no real flippant man like you could understand how I feel. But that Amakusa was forced to shut his mouth. He shrugged, but Ange didn't see. Even so, Amakusa spoke once more. On the first day we started this journey, you said something. You said you wanted to know what happened on the island that day. It's the same now. What changed? Now you're saying that you want to know what happened on the island that day so you can expose Richard Eva's crime. And isn't that exactly the same? Well, that's true, but I'm tired, so I sleep now. Would you mind staying quiet for a bit? Tell me when we get there. Roger that. I wasn't particularly tired, really. I just said that because I didn't like talking about this. Don't become one, a child soldier. Anshu had decided to feign sleep, ignore him. But Amakusa kept talking. He wanted to make sure she heard at least this much. You started on a journey to learn the truth. It's becoming more and more a journey of revenge. A journey to have revenge by exposing the truth. But as you know, there's nothing left on Orkanjima. There aren't even any traces left. C'est vous qui attendent là pour nous le dire quand même, ça. Hein. Exposing the truth might not be a picnic. I know what Amakusa's trying to say. The police searched the scene so thoroughly just after the crime, and even they weren't able to find any physical evidence proving that Shimiya Eva was the culprit. And a full 12 years have passed since then. If the truth could be discovered by a girl like me, waving wads of cash around to pick up a bit of info from those who were somehow related to the incident, then someone would have exposed the truth long ago. I might not be able to read the truth. If so, then my desire to expose the truth will probably fade away. After that, only my hatred for Eva will remain. Just like those child soldiers who forget their original purpose and live just to shoot. I forget my original purpose and live just to hate. I do nothing but despise Shimiya Eva, but my goal, exposing the truth for revenge, will be gone. So hating Shimiya Eva will become my whole life. Is there any difference between shooting for revenge and shooting to live? When you pull the trigger, someone dies either way. And what about my case? Is there any difference between hating Eva as I expose the truth and hating Eva after I've given up? There's no difference. In the end, whether I find the truth or not, I just keep on cursing Eva over and over until I die. What a crappy life. But no, that's all I have left. Shimiya Eva stole my family. So I'll take revenge by exposing the crimes and showing the world. My consciousness was slowly drifting away into sleep. Why is Onichan showing me such a bizarre Rokanjima? Is this supposed to be the truth? Enough with this farce. Why is even Onichan trying to hide the truth from me? I'm trying to find it so that I can avenge him and the others. How will Onichan say the same thing as Amakusa? That revenge is meaningless, so I should stop? Is that why he's speaking in riddles, trying to make everything more confusing? That's none of his business. I'm not just trying to take revenge for their sakes. I'm doing it for my sake too. After all, that's the only reason I'm still alive. Taking revenge is my reason to live. I don't have a clue what Onichan is thinking. Outside, the rain has started to pour down hard. However, inside the cousin room it was loud and cheery. It would have been raining spears and no one would have paid any attention. Hehe, full house, take that. Oh, you weren't bluffing. The cousins were all bursting with energy, sitting in a circle on the bed. And I thought Butler was crap in his hands every time he acted tough. Of course I've been losing all this time just to make you think that. If you're my Butler, the man who loses strategically to win in the end. Butler's incredible! All my coins have disappeared again! I'll give you some of mine. Let's crush Butler together, okay? With just a deck of cards, the cousin could enjoy themselves for hours and hours and hours. They were so engrossed that the occasional thunderbolt hardly even registers, static in the background. I'm starting to get angry. I wonder if dinner's ready yet? Who knows? It should be ready soon. Godatan and the others really went all out for tonight. Which means we got a lot of loot forward to. Is it to celebrate my long-awaited return? I heard from Shannon just now that there's going to be a Halloween party. They'll set up a buffet in the hall. Sounds incredible. A Halloween party? Incredible, incredible! Yeah, who is it? There was a knock, the door opened and Ange was there. She had been sleeping in her parents' room. Hey Ange, so you woke up. They said it's time for dinner, so we have to go to the mansion. They said to get ready. Eh? Food! I'm hungry! Perhaps because she was the hungriest, Maria celebrated more vigorously than anyone else. He jumped up happily and hopped off the bed. As Joseph chambered of the bed and started putting his shoes on, Harry and Riddle came into view. Hey Brad, time for food to get ready. J'arrive tellement plus à me les voir. Oh, c'est horrible. It looks like today will be extra special. I can't wait to see it. I know. It's a Halloween party. A Halloween party? I know, and Ange doesn't. Mom, what's a Halloween party? Who knows? We might have to go and see for ourselves. Everyone ready? It's about time to go. Is everyone here? Please follow me. Maya, over here. You call us crooked. I'm starving. The food is the best part of these family conferences. We're starving to Ange-chan. Eva smiled at Ange. Yeah, I'm starving. Ange, I'm hungry, right? Don't worry about it. Yeah, I'll bet you're starving. My stomach's rumbling too. Okay, let's get out of here. Looks like the wind's blowing outside. Make sure you don't lose your umbrellas. Everyone, please take an umbrella. Here's is your umbrella, Ange-chan? Thanks, Aunt Eva. Oh, girls really are so cute. I'm over to play at your aunt's house one of these days. It's a promise, okay? Oh no. It looks like Aunt Eva's taken a liking to Ange. C'est vraiment affreux par contre. Yep, apparently, Mother really wanted a daughter. Oh, I've heard that too. I think she adored me too when I was little. My mama said she really wanted a son. If your kids grow up happily, it doesn't matter if they're boy or girl. Maria is my precious, precious gift from God. Oui. Tiens, dans ta mère. Hop. When they got outside, the wind was fairly strong. Eva, who had really hit off with Ange, offered to share an umbrella with the little girl. It was hard to tell what they were chatting so excitedly about, but they seemed to be getting along so splendidly already. Butler opened his umbrella as he watched this. His little sister was cute when she clung to him, but he was just as cute and adorable when looking up at someone else with a happy smile. The wind and rain were strong, but even this must have been the perfect spice to heighten the anticipation of the coming meal. Thanks to some festive decorations, the main hall had been remade into the scenes of a Halloween party. I'm sure my family always took meals in the dining hall. Cette musique-là aussi, elle est trop bien. Hein. Pa, 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 pa. Pa, pa, pa. Pa, pa, pa. Pa, pa, pa. This was the first time I'd ever seen a buffet-style party set up in the main hall. Yo, Butler. Hey, Maria. Long time no see. Berto, happy Halloween. Trick or treat. I have some candy for you, but now is not the time. Have to wait just before a meal. Thank you, better son. I see you're looking as beautiful as ever. You too, Rosa. Certainly don't look old enough to be a mother. Have you been drinking? Your ears are looking pretty red there. Why not that you left? He literally brought this red ring so I couldn't help but sample a bit. And this coming from a person who tells little kids not to eat candy before a meal. Pardon me? Yeah. Oui, bah oui, d'accord. Toc 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 toc. I saw Kin's beckoning from over by the portrait. Yada yada does it. When it comes to ceremonies, that means always so obsessed with them. It's probably about the ceremony for the gold's return. It's a huge turning point for the Yoshimiya family. You'd better go and play along. It does make one feel a bit lonely though. Please don't change the fact that you're the Yoshimiya family alchemist. Perhaps. I'll be back shortly. See you later, okay? I'm going to Genji to this party has a bit of time to it. You'd better look forward to it. Make it sound like you did any of the work. Oh, you're another one who obsessed too much of the details. Later. Oni-chan, is something going to happen today? Is this a special day? It looked as though even Ange has picked up on that match. They seem to be getting tense for no reason. It's a special day for the Yoshimiya family, but it doesn't have anything to do with your personality, personally, so you should just relax. Okay, that's right. Hey, you know, I just heard a huge secret from Aunt Eva. Even Maria Onichan doesn't know, but I tell you. Oh, so what's the secret? Okay, I heard that if you get an almond in yours, you win. Win? Is it like a lottery or something? Anyway, if you get an almond, you win. Ange puffed out her cheeks. Apparently she wanted to be praised for sharing this exciting secret, but just knowing that almonds win doesn't really explain that much. Okay, got it. Thanks for letting me into that major secret. You're mean, Onichan, and I even told you my secret. Ange, her cheeks still puffed out, headed back to where Aunt Eva was. They really are getting along well. But I guess I have no problems if it's around. Plus some guy from a class I don't care that in elementary school it's not happening. Not playing with the opposite sex without Onichan's approval. At that moment, Genji-san's voice rang out. The jitter gradually subsided and the rain outside once again became apparent. Ladies and gentlemen, I ask for your silence. Silence filled the room. All of the relatives seemed vaguely aware that tonight's festivities consisted of more than a Halloween party. Butler already knew. This was a ceremony to mark the return of the gold from Kinzo to Beatrice, which had been borrowed from so many years. No, that fact was being announced by Kinzo himself. He spoke of how this gold has not only restored the Ushima family, but brought it to a level of wealth it had never been experienced. He spoke of how he would finally return his gold to Beatrice, the one who had saved the Ushima family. Kinzo personally handed an ingot decorated with a bright red ribbon to Beatrice. This is the debt we owe to 3 generations of Beatrice, the Golden Witch. The Ushima family will never forget it. Sheesh. If you would know where to put it, I'd be happy to take it off your hands. Beatrice-sama. It was hard to imagine Beato of all people getting admonished by Genji. I couldn't help but laugh. I'm Beatrice, the Ushima family alchemist. Tonight I acknowledge the end of the loan contract for the 10 tons of gold. Now several decades following my grandmother's generation, the time has come for the eagle that lost one wing to fly once more. I will watch over that eagle and prepare for its prosperity in all generations to come. Butler, il a vraiment fait la taille parfaite. Il n'y a aucune raison de se tuer, genre. Tout va bien se passer. Applause filled the hall. Thus she'd managed to make such a dignified speech for once. As soon as it was over, she stuck her tongue out and leered at us. I guess that's about the limit to how long Beato can stay serious. By passing her name on through the generations, Beatrice the Golden Witch may live for thousands of years. Therefore, even her descendants shall be Beatrice, and all shall be alchemists to this family. The descendant of the Ushuaia family will praise Beatrice for her gratitude forevermore, and this will be passed on through the generations. This family will always be indebted to Beatrice, and she will always be our family, tied by a noble bond. Noble bond, ouais, ça doit être ça, je pense. Let those who acknowledge this show their recognition with the applause. On me détourne! After Genji's words, the relatives all looked at each other and started applauding at once. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Beatrice, you are a member of the Ushima family, and that is a bond more sacred than one of blood. Oh, of course, lending money is more important than being a blood relation. Beatrice-sama. After that, Kinzo's long-winded speech continued. Tonight, Kinzo will retire as the Ushima family head. Then he announced that he will reveal the distribution of his inheritance. A stir of excitement spread across the siblings in money trouble when they heard that they wouldn't have to wait for Kinzo's death to get the shares. I'm aware that each of you is in trouble with money. This should be enough to resolve all those problems. But do not grow complacent. This is my inheritance, given to you before my death. In the past, so I have been strict, I have always watched over you. However, beginning tonight, your father will cease to provide support of that kind. I shall watch on as you take flight, also watching down upon you from the heavens. No longer will I interfere. You may live wherever you please. Dad, Father, you understand. We will certainly take flight on our own. Here and now all of us siblings swear to work together to make the Ushima family even more prosperous. That's right, if we stick together, nothing can stand in our way. Hideyoshi laughed, but Genji admonished him. However, he could understand why they were so happy. Et franchement, me termine, c'est vraiment le vieux full-time là, Kinzo là. On oublierait presque sa vraie nature. En fait, Battler a vraiment fait un truc de fou pour qu'il y ait... comment dire? Il a fait un truc de fou pour qu'il n'y ait pas d'or, donc pas de meurtre à cause de l'or, et l'héritage pour que personne n'ait de problème d'argent. Donc qu'est-ce qui peut mal se passer là? Tout le monde est sympa, tout le monde est là, tout le monde a sa petite part d'argent, il n'y a plus d'or, tout est bien qui finit bien. Genre j'ai toujours pédophile malheureusement, oui. Ta-ta. Ça oui. So far the siblings had quarreled restlessly over their inheritance. However, this evening, the inheritance had been neatly split apart and they no longer had any need to shim for money. Ah bah ça va alors. In other words, the siblings no longer had any reason to squabble with each other anymore. On the contrary, c'est ça, c'est exactement ce que je disais. Comment il peut y avoir une couille là? Tout va bien, tout le monde va bien. Par contre, Matermin, est-ce que c'est normal que le truc de l'explosion incident, on nous le sorte un peu comme un cheveu sur la soupe là, alors qu'on nous l'a jamais dit, mais genre on nous le sort là en mode bah c'est le cas, point, genre. Eva and Rosa were sniffling with tears in their eyes. And so was Rudolph. Perhaps now, despite their age, they had finally left the nest for real. Tonight, the Hegels of the Urshume family will leave Rokanjima, the nest weird from the witch's magic, and go their separate ways, with their own power and determination. Mais du coup, est-ce que ça fait pas de ma théorie un peu drôle, une théorie grotesque? Est-ce que je suis pas à 800 IQ dessus, en fait? C'est ça la vraie question. Est-ce que finalement, en faisant une théorie où je voulais être un peu rigolé, j'ai pas été un monstre, quoi, finalement? Est-ce que c'est pas ma meilleure théorie du jeu, finalement? Cette théorie un peu drôle. Est-ce que c'est pas la meilleure chose que j'ai produite avec ma tête? Au final. Parce que je l'ai dit, dès qu'il y a eu le TNT, dès que les bombes étaient mentionnées sur le flashback de Kinzo, j'ai pronostiqué. Hein. J'ai envoyé mon guess. Hein. With Kinzo seeing it fun, he had wanted from the start. He had settled his inheritance problem himself. There would have been no need for his children to care at all. Instead, he had acted in a sullen manner and left the problem to them, which had resulted in their strained relationships. Gal Shannon, ça se bat aussi. Ouais, mais je l'ai eu plus tard, ça. Et je pense que c'est quand même un truc que tout le monde peut avoir. Ça, pour le coup, ça va vite. Après, j'avais dit tôt, Shannon égale Canon égale Béatrice aussi. Voilà. J'avais dit les trois. Et ça, c'est... Ouais, c'est pas mal, en vrai. Par contre, je relirai toutes mes théories quand j'aurai fini. Je pense qu'il y a quand même beaucoup de merde. Hein. Yes, it was always worth. Par contre, là où j'ai vraiment pas eu le nez fin, je pense qu'on a le droit de se le dire, là où j'ai vraiment pas eu le nez fin, c'est que j'ai vraiment fait une tier list de qui peut être le meurtrier, et j'ai vraiment mis Kairi et Rudolph en 100% safe, quoi. Ça, c'est peut-être le plus gros downfall que j'ai proposé, sur tout ce que j'ai fait de ma vie sur ce jeu, genre. La tier list à l'envers. Mais la finalité, c'est que, en vrai, si j'ai bien compris, je pense avoir bien compris, bah, parce que de toute façon, Sayo l'a dit, on dit Sayo pour les trois, hein, du coup, mais Sayo l'a dit, si ils n'avaient pas résolu le problème de l'or, elle l'aurait fait elle-même, quoi. Donc, d'un côté, there's always responsibility. And the interwinning bonds had been released. C'est vrai, j'ai eu le temps de m'en remettre un peu, mais franchement, c'était très très dur sur le coup. Hein. So an invisible rope had been wrapped around Kinzo's body. That rope was now gone, and he felt a sense of release he hadn't experienced for many years. Bravo Kinzo. Quel bel homme. The four siblings stepped forward, and before Kinzo they swore to a support cross, the new head and lead the family to greatest prosperity. Their faces sparkled with an unexpected usefulness. It was only natural. After all, none of the four had made such a natural killing promise since the time they were kids. As the vibrancy of the youth returned to them, the siblings made a promise once again. When Cross finished his announcement, a friendly applause filled the hall. The cousins and the servants. C'est vraiment Omedeto là. Belle bite, hein? Joining in an applause that continued on and on. Ange watched this, dumbfounded. The four siblings were supposed to have quarreled with each other constantly since they were kids, and they were supposed to have pointlessly locked swords with Kinzo's inheritance as their goal, their worries over money spurring them on. Thanks to the ceremony, even the word of truth the world acknowledged had been rewritten. Were they actually friendly towards each other, or did they quarrel all the time like I believe? It doesn't matter. Either way, right here, right now, all of those problems have been resolved. I mustn't believe. This is just an chance farce. Even so, I knew that fact. When I watched Dad and the other hugging each other with teary smile on their face, I couldn't help but feel something warm welling up my eyes. I won't believe. This is all an chance farce. What will you have to see? What will you have to hear before you let yourself believe? Red, if you say it with the red truth. Everything that can be said in red, that can't be said in red lie? I won't believe. This is just... Ange looked at the floor and fell silent. As the game master, Battler was able to use the red truth. However, that rule only exists on a witch game board. In the world of humans, red truth doesn't exist. People see things, hear things, and when they believe that something is worth believing, they accept it as a red truth. Unless one accepts it, no kind of truth can become truth. Je vois ce qu'il veut faire. Et du coup, c'est... terrible, quoi. Pa pa da pa 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 pa. En fait, il veut lui faire acknowledge que ça c'est la vérité. Je comprends ce qu'il veut faire. Butler wanted her to realize this. There was no point in using the red truth or rule of this game to force the truth on her. Ange would have to use her own power, her own heart, to accept the truth as truth. The decision was Ange. Ah, je comprends ce qu'il veut faire, mais du coup c'est... Ouais. No one could force her to decide either way. So there was nothing wrong with Ange declaring this scene to be a farce. But if so, then what about the hot tears dripping down Ange's face? Ange would have to think that through herself, without anyone telling her. After one sniffle and a rub of her eyes, Ange let the 6-year-old version of herself take control of her peace. What followed was a harmonious, fun stretch of time. Beautifully hard-run dishes were brought in one another, and champagne corks fed loudness with pleasant sounds. Several small tables were set here and there, and each was in his own theme. That was where the fun lay in the stand-up buffet party, as the guests wandered from table to table, pondering what they should eat first. This sort of performance was where God's genius shone through. The hotel that let him go should have regretted having done so. Of course, the stand-up buffet would probably be a tiring affair for the middle-aged. So chairs had been set up as well. However, each time a new dish was brought into the hall, they could get up to look, wandering through the tables however they pleased. This way they could each bump into a new group of people, then mingle elsewhere when that group melted apart. People are interesting. As the members in each group changed, so did the topic of conversation. The bustling Halloween party played out like a colorful kaleidoscope. The origami chains decorating the wall brought back useful memories. Those will help anyone enjoy themselves like they were kids again. Even to Ange it was like a dream. She chatted happily with her cousins. She also chatted with her aunts and uncles. Beato showed her several tricks that she called magic. Maria said they were magic, Ange said they were tricks, and the night grew even more lively. The two young girls were so fired up that the adults decided to show some tricks they knew, shocking both of the kids utterly. Eventually, each starting showed tricks to the others, asking if they had ever seen that one before, and it became a party of magic, which was perfect for Halloween. In addition to magic tricks, several quizzes, riddles, and games popped up, reminding everyone of the childhood days. Even the servants who were sharing food got dragged into the groups, and the whole hall was filled with chatter. To Ange, young as she was, every single magic trick, quiz, and riddle was an entirely new experience. They stimulated her intellectual curiosity, and she couldn't contain her excitement. Hiding the wide variety of delicious foods and drinks she could choose from, it was like being in a dream. Ange felt a floaty sensation, as though she was walking on a cloud. Ange, did you drink some of this? This is Daddy's drink. I wanted to drink some magic grape juice too, so it's okay. Your face is looking a little red there. Are you feeling alright? She only had a bit, so I think she'll be fine. I'll be fine, I'm not a kid. Ange shan't drink this one, okay? That stuff you that drinks is nasty, so don't try anymore, got it? That's right, if you drink bad stuff, you'll end up as a bad adult too. I'm not gonna be a bad adult, I'm gonna be a princess. That's right, Ange is our princess. Yep, she's our family's princess. I agree, you'd better come over to my house to play some time. We'll have a lot of fun. C'est vraiment horrible par contre, hein. Wow, alors c'est que ça à chaque fois, c'est wow. En fait, mine de rien, le what if fait très mal en fait. En fait, le what if tabasse un peu quand même. Hein. Okay, thanks Aunt Eva. Everyone's being really nice. That must feel like I've become a real princess. C'est ça, il y a un côté... Putain, si seulement ça avait été ça... Et en même temps, si ça avait été ça, il n'y aurait pas eu de jeu, quoi. Mais ouais. C'est vraiment triste, en vrai. I feel so great I could almost believe that this whole celebration was being held for my sake. Atlas stood outside that group of people. As he watched Tom smiling happily from the distance, he smiled too. When she smiles like that, she really lives up to her name. It's so sad. I agree, it really does smile fit for an angel. I hope that smile comes from the real Ange and not just the piece. Even if it doesn't, she's watching this, and she can think it's true herself. This game between you and Ange is really overflowing with affection. So much that it's irritatingly slow for me. And what's wrong with that? There is no one to get in her way. No obstacles or tactics or anything else to worry about. That's right, this game is no longer a battle. Not to mention it, this is cleaning up. Cleaning up after our game. I'll never be able to make up for the thing I did to her through my careless actions. We have to take responsibility for our game. We'll make up for our sins together. That's why we're showing Ange this final game. Do you think that Ange will be able to use that key the right way? Of course, I've thought about forcibly dragging her in that direction when I think it's right. Such an attempt would probably have been meaningless. When you're forced to make a decision, it's hard to accept that it was truly a correct one, no matter how much time passes. Exactly, Ange has to think and choose for herself. Even if she doesn't make the decision, with you as the correct one, I think we should respect it. Le problème, c'est que cette clé, elle l'a que pour la game, quoi. Elle l'aura jamais eu en vrai, quoi. Donc même si c'est un truc cool... You are the game master. I cannot argue with you anymore. I will simply watch on and enjoy this night. This game is very significant for Ange, but for us it's kind of like a party after the show. It's almost time. But are you sure? Ange might get the wrong idea again, right? It'll be fine. In fact, this is necessary. Just like how you appeared in the way you did. And everyone else too. Then let's enjoy this final celebration with the others. After all of them have acted their part so well in this long game. That instant, the sound of someone clapping for attention rang out. Your attention, everyone. Please gather. And now for today's special event. God had been the one clapping. Everyone gathered together, wondering what was going on. On the serving cart in front of him was a large sliced chocolate cake. As a highlight of tonight's Halloween party, I have prepared this such a tart for you all. As you can see, it was made specially for the Ushimiya family and bears the crest of the one who diggle in chocolate. The stupendous cake drew a gasp of admiration from all present. What a splendid cake. A perfect highlight for the party. Oh no, it's not just a cake. Tonight's cake has a little secret. Master asked that you explain that secret to everyone. Very well, it is a bit of a game. One slice of this cake will be used to select the winner. It's got an almond in it. I shouted happily. Linda looked at her and nodded. In just one slice of this cake there is a single almond. The one who chooses that piece shall become tonight's king. Oh, it's been a long time since I played the king game. I'm guessing the subject matter was a bit different when you played it. So what happened? Eric met des bastos, hein. Cette connasse-là. What happens to the person who becomes the king? The king gets to name one wish, and we shall all try to grant it together. Oh, sounds interesting. Kings are boys, girls can be kings. If the girls win, they got to become the princess. The almond, the one with the almond wins, right? Ah, that's right. You're incredible, Ange. In time like this, luck can tell you something about a man. Can't let myself lose now. Hold up there, let's let the smallest kids choose first. Good idea. Anshan, you can go first. Yeah, you're the big cousin, Maria. Let Anshan go first. But what if Ange wins? I'm gonna win. The almond wins, the almond wins. It seems the old fogies must hope that left lovers are lucky today. If we're going by age, I guess that meant Kinzo's last. Oh, but weren't you a 1,000-year-old? No. Everyone burst out laughing. Her real age was unknown, but she claimed to be 19-year-old. C'est quand même très drôle, hein, cette histoire. In front of Ange lay the large cake, split into several pieces. Just one of those pieces was the winner. Well then, Ange-sama, which piece would you like? Whichever you choose, it will be ever so delicious. No way, I only want the winning one. Oh, then you have to try and guess right on the first shot. Go ahead, pick one. Matle pushed Ange's small bag towards the table with the cake. Which one should I take? The chocolate cake was cut into 15 pieces. I wanna pick the one with the almond and become the princess. Well, then another almond, which one will it be? I get to choose first, but it sort of feels unfair. I mean, it is, isn't it? My chance of getting the right one was 1 in 15. There's no way I'll get it. And then when Marianne-chan goes after me, she has 1 in 14 chance of picking the winner. The next person has 1 in 13 chance and 1 in 12 chance, and the last person will win for sure. Non, c'est complètement con, ferme ta gueule. Oh, pardon, non mais attends, mais là... Non, pardon, j'ai dit ta gueule à une gamine de 6 ans, non mais faut arrêter d'être conne aussi. Ça marche pas comme ça. This isn't fair. It's harder for the person who goes first. Everyone laughed. Apparently there was something wrong with my calculations, but I still didn't like it. And let us start this contest of luck with Ange-sama. Please feel free to make your selection. Okay. If I have to pick one out of so many, there's no way I'll win. But for some reason tonight, it felt like I might surely win after all. I have no reason for feeling this way, but when I'm in a good mood, Lady Luck always brings me fortune. Have you decided yet? Yeah, I've decided. This one's the winner. I concentrated on my fingertip and pointed at one of the 15 slices. The slice I chose was... Oh! Attends, c'est la première fois qu'on a un choix à faire. Chapitre 8. Oh putain. Faut jouer au jeu là. Ok. Wow. On peut pas save. C'est quoi la bonne part? Ma termine à l'aide. Il y a un truc qui change selon la part que tu prends ou pas, en vrai? Putain, je perdrai au UMINEKO. Faut que j'envoie une décision là. Hein. En vrai, dis-moi, est-ce que ça change vraiment un truc? Selon la part que je pense pas, j'imagine que non, mais... Faut que je réfléchisse convenablement. Ok, tu sais quoi? Je pense celle-là... Oula, attends, ça marche plus. Quoi? Je suis revenu sur le cake, je pouvais plus sélectionner. Ok, bah j'ai pris celle qui était indiquée, du coup. J'ai cliqué à gauche, mais je crois que ça a pris celle d'en bas. Ok, bon. This one. This one, are you sure? I made up my mind. I want this one. When he asked me whether I was sure, I felt a little uneasy. Still, at times like this, it's better to take with your instinct. It was one of the few bits of philosophy that this young girl had learned from a few life experiences. Bah, je sais pas, j'ai voulu prendre celle à gauche, qui était là, par là. Et en fait, ça m'a sélectionné que celle d'en bas, je pouvais rien faire d'autre, donc je sais pas. When I took the chosen slice, put it on a plate with fork and handed it to Ange. I go next. Which should I take? It was Maria's turn next. I was excited, determined to be the winner. I walked away from that group all by myself. On peut se rendormir. Putain, et ça m'a... Wow, ça m'a surpris. En plus, le choix est fou, en vrai. Hein. I was struck by a temptation to quickly cut the cake open and check for an almond inside. However, I stopped myself. If I check my piece first, my chance of winning is 1 in 15. However, if I wait for some other people to check their slice, then when I see that they've lost, my chance will go up if only slightly. In other words, instead of searching for the almond right away, my chance will go up if I wait for some other people to lose. But if someone picks a winner while I'm sitting around here, the chance of my slice being a winner will go to 0. It'll be tough to calculate the right moment. I need to wait just long enough for as many losers to show up as possible. My chances of winning are either if I can check my piece immediately before someone else to win. Yeah, that's the trick to winning this game. Putain, il y a du gameplay dans UMINEKO, mais alors là... Que personne ne me dise qu'il n'y a pas de gameplay dans UMINEKO. Hein. Le choix de la part était dingue. Hein. I have strange self. I feel like I'm missing something. Even so no one else can touch the cakes that's sitting in front of me. The almond inside will appear or disappear depending on whether or not the other people win or lose. I was in such a good mood that I felt dizzy and I couldn't figure out what was wrong with my theory. But I did realize that something was strange. There is always just one truth inside the cat box. My best, c'était ça le... oui. No matter what happens inside the box, it shouldn't be able to shake the truth inside. And yet I'm being shaken about by events outside the cat box, trying to use those to change the way I observe the box contents. Battler qui a fait le gâteau pour qu'elle réfléchisse à ça. Bravo champion. Je sais pas s'il a vraiment réfléchi à ça, mais... I don't even know what I'm saying. There's nothing inside me trying to say that, but it's too hard for me to understand. I feel like I'm drifting. I got so cheery and excited that even though I'm not sleepy, my mind feels hazy. Maybe it's because I drank that little drink. In the end, even though I chose the first piece, I decided to check his last. After I've seen that everyone else has lost, my chance of winning would be 100%. I tried to find the contradiction in my thinking, but I didn't really get it, so I stopped. It's much better to have a 100% chance than 1 in 15 one, so I decided to bet on that. I couldn't wait to open this precious treasure chest, but I waited for everyone else to choose their pieces and check them. How is it going? Has anyone found a winner? Mine didn't have one. I lost too? I guess I have to give up on being the princess. Even if you lose, it's such also always beautiful and delicious. It's such a good decoration, it's almost a shame to eat it. How about you? Got the almond? No, not me either. What about you, Yoshini-san? Mine's a loser too. Looks like I've used to pull my luck with my company and my wife. What exactly do you mean by that? What about you, Lieutenant Andrew? I'm checking it now. Games like this truly can be fun every now and then. Indeed, sometimes a simple test of luck without any strategy or tactics can be quite entertaining. What about you, Beato? Where's the liar who said leftovers would be lucky? Yeah. What about you, Ange? Was there an almond in yours? I'm checking now. Or you still haven't touched yours? I've been following my own personal probability theory, but I didn't think I could explain it well to Anchan, so I didn't mention it to him. I wonder if there's an almond in here. If I win, I'll be tonight's princess. I'll be happy if I win. But even if I don't, it's a be a really fun night, so that's okay. I go put on a hall when the game started, but before then everyone was having a lot of fun trading tricks, quiz and riddles. This game is fun too, but I want to play like that again soon. Huh? What's up, Ange? Oh? I lifted up the tiny thing with my fork and stared at it, then showed it to my brother. This is an almond, right? Whoa, Ange got it! That's awesome! At the same time, a stir rose up in the other corner of the room. I got one, I won. Oh, so Eva won. Quoi? My, congratulations, Eva-sama. That's wrong, I won! Minus the almond! I had the almond eyed and shouted across the room. The crowd around Eva split and everyone stared at me surprised. I was surprised too. The thing in her hands was without a doubt an almond. What the heck? What's going on here? Goda, there seem to be 2 almonds, so are they both winners? That shouldn't have. Does this mean that one of the 2 winners made a mistake? Osama is clearly an almond. How about you? What about your end, Canon? Oh, Osama is clearly an almond. Oh, then it seems that they both win. Master. What an odd occurrence. What's all this, Goda? Well, it seems we had a little mistake. Perhaps they should do rock, paper. Come now, don't be stingy. You just mean that 2 almonds have appeared to signify the queen and the princess. Eva et Ange. Wow. C'est triste en vrai. Precisely, let's have them both be winners. Bah en fait ça dépend parce qu'ils avaient l'air de chercher avant de manger le gâteau. Donc en fait c'est un peu comme chercher la... C'est un peu comme chercher la fève quoi, j'imagine. Oh well, but... Goda was hesitant. Actually, he had prepared a single special dessert for the king. It had been decorated in a way that made it hard to split for 2 people, so it was inconvenient for there to be 2 kings. When Eva heard Goda mumbling something to this effect, she shrugged and laughed. In that case, let's have Ange and be the princess. The princess? I'm the princess? I'll be your attendant. That works, right? Of course it works. Ange had been worried that Eva would be declared the winner since she had spoken at first, so she hadn't even dreamed that Eva would give up to her. But are you sure? You want to? It's okay, I get to be your attendant. Come, princess. What wish you want granted? Let's hear it. Oh. I've already chosen my wish. Oh, and what is it? Won't you tell your aunt? I want this fun time to keep on going. Forever. Pardon. The young me spoke for desire in my heart. What you're doing before this was fun, so I'd like to keep doing it. I get the feelings that the nuance had changed. Still, that wasn't mystical, baby, my wish. What we were doing before this? Oh, you mean those tricks and quizzes? Yeah. And let's do this. Listen up, everyone. This is an order from the princess. Remember how much fun we were having earlier? Let's all entertain Einstein with tricks and quizzes. Hold up there. I've already used up all my magic tricks. Then let's do quizzes and riddles. So we just need to entertain Einstein with quizzes. Oh, la musique vraiment de pas de patrouille là, c'est... Oh! Très mimi en vrai. You cannot present quizzes for a princess to enjoy. I see, understood. Oh, yes, so intriguing. Then Ange, let us do it in this way. Everyone will give you a quiz or a riddle and you can try to solve them. Each time you succeed, I will give you a medal. A medal? You probably mean some sort of commemorative medallion. If you get a lot of puzzles right, you'll get a lot of medals. Oh, just gathering medals, it's that boring, don't you think? Yes, depending on the number of medals you collect, I shall give you a fantastic present. Well, do you suddenly feel fired up? It sounds amazing, so there's even a prize. Isn't that great, Ange? Yeah! Attends. Je réfléchis à un truc. Non, c'est tout bon. Pardon. Je réfléchissais à un truc, mais tout va bien. Everyone gathered around me, smiling as they thought about what sort of puzzle they'd give. They're all thinking about me so that they can play with me. Just the feel of having that all to myself almost made me explode with joy at becoming the princess. Bravo! C'est peut-être un bon moment pour arrêter parce qu'il y a un match dans une demi-heure et puis bah c'était une bonne session quand même. Bon, c'est peut-être m'arrêter là. Ah, quoique la musique continue là. Juste, il y a une petite coupure, je me dis, c'est peut-être pas mal. Un début de chapitre très sympathique en tout cas. Enfin, très sympathique dans le sens où c'est vraiment sympathique premier degré quoi. Je me sens bien. Putain, après ce que j'ai vécu au chapitre 7, ça me remonterait presque le moral si je savais pas que c'était complètement faux. À part peut-être pour Ange, qui sait. On verra bien la suite demain. Ce que ça nous dit. Bah là, faut m'en faire beaucoup des câlins de pardon, là. Pour ce qui s'est passé au chapitre 7, faut m'en faire beaucoup des câlins de pardon. C'est marrant parce que là, le truc du chapitre 8, c'est le tableau de Will et Léon, mais ils sont toujours dans leur subplot terrible, quoi. Bref, bisous YouTube, à demain pour la suite du dernier chap. On va essayer d'en profiter jusqu'au bout. Et puis voilà, à demain YouTube, bisous bisous.